I've given up on comic books and I now strictly read novels. Stay tuned. I have no clue what he's doing over there, but I will tell you, I'm pumped. Somebody give us a drum roll. I got it. Don't worry. Oh, wait. Oh, that is not what I'm looking for. Anywho's, look who's back. Oh, that was good.
Ugh. Not a lot of room in here.
The Birch is back. Somebody retitle our show. The Birch is back. Live from New York Comic Con. The Birch. The Birchinator.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that it is 9:45 on a Saturday night at New York Comic Con, and I am in my hotel room because I am too old to go to parties.
Yeah, damn the parties anyway.
But heck, that's where you get canceled at, man. You could be the next, not even do nothing special and get canceled. Just being there. You can't get canceled being on a Babylon. I don't care what anybody says.
No matter how many times I try, I can't be canceled from the Babylon.
No, I don't care who says anything or what. There's no cancellation. But guys, Justin Birch is back tonight for at least a little while. You said, right?
Yeah, because I still got to drive home in the morning.
But you took plenty of naps, I'm sure.
Before he takes his old ass to bed.
No naps at New York because my hotel is actually in Jersey, so I would have to ride the train back to Jersey in order to take a nap.
So tell us a little bit about that, right? Because we've never been to New York Comic Con. I'm assuming a lot of people in the chat have never been. So you couldn't get a hotel on the hotel block there at the con, or everybody kind of stays in Jersey and back, or how does that work? So
I personally have found that it is easier and a little bit cheaper to stay in Jersey.
Yeah.
So it's easier to get into and out of. And it's a little bit cheaper, and my hotel is connected right to the train station. So I just walk across the street, get on the train, head into the city.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what's it been like so far at New York Comic Con for you? Because the guys, we have not caught up. We have not chatted really about anything other than like maybe 4 total chats. That's it.
I hate New York Comic Con. I will always hate New York Comic Con. But it is a necessary evil. I feel like I have to come and do this every year.
So what is the hate?
What is the hate? The crowd.
Yeah.
There's just so many people. Like Saturday is the worst day because you don't walk like a normal person because you don't pick your feet up because there's so many people there that you can't pick your feet up. You just sort of trudge through shoulder to shoulder.
That sounds just absolutely miserable.
It is.
There's no. I have zero. So I could get free tickets. Somebody come pick me up, drive me there, put me in the nicest hotel in New York City, and my ass still would not be caught in New York City, much less New York City Comic Con for that. I mean, just no.
So for me, the best day is always Thursday because it's not as busy. So Thursday is the day that I try to get done everything I want to get done, and it's possible to do because the floor hours are 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. And Artist Alley is actually open, I think, till 10 p.m. They keep Artist Alley open late, and it's actually on a separate floor.
Oh, right on.
So I try to do everything I can Thursday. Whatever I have left to do, whoever I have left to talk to, I try to mop up on Friday. And then on Saturday, I don't show up till like 2 or 3 o'clock. I usually have something specific I have to do, which is why I'm there on Saturday. Today I had a signing at Mad Cave, so I showed up at 2 o'clock. I bought a statue. I did the signing, and then I got the hell out.
So how come we couldn't get? I mean, you wouldn't even hook us up with no New York Comic Con signatures?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just sign something from us for us. I mean, to us.
Half the people probably signing stuff for our friends anyway. I mean, I'm sure we could just hit them up, Nick.
Yeah, that's true. You guys just call Mark and say, Mark, could you sign me something?
Oh, Mark.
That Joker's like 400 foot tall, by the way. Didn't know that.
Who?
Mark London.
Oh, I didn't know he was that tall either.
I didn't see him this weekend. I don't know if he made the trip. I've met him in the past. I don't remember if he's that tall. I can't remember.
Yeah. Anywho's, well, real quick before we continue the New York Comic Con talk, we're also going to talk Werewolf by Night, Daredevil and MCU, comic books when you're broke, I Quit Comic Books, and many more. And also, I got some cool pickups that I'm excited to show. But let's say hey to people in the chat. How does that sound?
I'd even jump into a little exclusive talk because curious to know what everyone else has been seeing as far as exclusive purchases being made on this secondary market. I mean, it's not been looking good from what I have personally.
What do you mean, like exclusive variants?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're dead.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll see. What's up, Vinny? Hope you're doing well. Dan, what's up, Dan? We definitely have got to plan a very specific night to have you back on to talk more Silver Age.
Nick's so jealous that I got to talk to you and he didn't.
I brought literally my full setup. I had my camera, my Mac.
I know.
The microphone. It was the first time I've ever brought a full setup. And the upload speed was like less than a megabyte per second. I think that's or megabit per second. Anyways, and you need like 9 to 12 to even be like as good quality, as like a hotel, right? So it was stupid, but that's what you get for going camping. What's up, Alan? Alan, I have something. You've not hit me up about it. We can talk some vintage talk a little bit. What's up, Tony?
Yeah, Alan, where's my money at? Don't make me. It's gonna be like that episode of Family Guy with Stewie.
Hey, they actually had somebody on from Disney, a Disney relevant, the Disney food blog. I've never heard of this person, but I started listening to her, and she has a very nice voice. And getting ready for our 9-day trip to Disney World this year.
Hey, wait, when are you?
I can't believe you still feed that company money like that. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Not by the 17th. Up until the 23rd or 24th
of
December.
Dang it.
Yeah, when are you going?
November.
Oh, yeah. No, we always have to take the last 2 weeks off of December every year, so we just generally go there. Dan, we'll get to that. Am I rocking a death metal shirt? I certainly am, and I'm trying to grow out a Ryan beard. Seriously, no lie. I don't think I've cut this in 7 months. I've trimmed up here a little bit, but yeah, like
I pretty much shaved all mine off this weekend.
It looks good. What's up, B. Ramey?
What's up, B. Brandon?
We'll talk about that.
You got some books coming my way, Brandon?
What's up, Tom?
I'm getting a lot of books in, man. Press has been busy over here.
He said I sent you a DM Friday. Well, I need to get you my cell phone number. That's probably the better way.
Nick does not. Nick jumps on Instagram, starts shit, and rolls out. He don't check the DMs. I jump on
that's
Instagram.
what I told Tom today. Tom was like, I messaged you after we talked. And I was like, I don't know, dude. Let me pull it up. We ran by the shop today, and I'll show off my stuff. And it was in our message request. So even then, I wouldn't have seen it had you not mentioned something. But
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
just there to talk some smack.
It's gonna be in the request folder if you're not important.
No, it just I don't know actually what the criteria for that is. I wish the gray in my mustache would grow. Anywho's, all right. So what do you guys want to? You want to continue to?
Tom likes to talk too much shit to be just going straight into the DMs and the primary folders immediately. He's got to get screened before he gets to us.
All right. So do y'all want to talk about pickups since Justin picked up a few things from New York Comic Con, and we can talk about some of the prices? Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like that. You know what I mean? Whoa, where did Dustin
where'd he go?
Bring back the old school. Not really old school, but the actual things. I'll go first. No. I'll go first. All right, I'll go first. Comic book. Let's show it off a little bit here. What I got first. Look at these, Justin. They're snack pack bags. Reusable. Inside's food safe. Different themes.
Sorry, I'm not impressed.
My wife just asked, did I cook something? No, I did not. Did I catch the backyard on fire?
Alan,
fire
150s, Alan.
All right. So got that from the comic shop. Actually, I bought a bunch of them apparently. Cool. Got some manga.
Ooh. What's that?
Black Clover 30. All right. This guy said, smells like something's burning down there. I may have to run down there. My Hero Academia Vigilantes 13. And then My Hero Academia Volume 32. Although the box set of this should be on the way, even though I own them all. I just couldn't resist a good box set.
Alan, while Nick's doing this, I wanted to ask you, the incident you sent us a DM on, did you have did you first person witness that before we actually talk about it? Just a yes or no.
I think it's the coffee. I did make coffee. Nottingham. Diabolves established solvent. I don't know what the hell that means, but it's here. One of the few floppies I still pick up. I actually don't know why. I thought I pulled Berserker. King Spawn, because I will still support McFarlane, because he only sells his books at $2.99. I really basically am supporting Mad Cave and Todd McFarlane at this point.
That's good. Todd needs it.
Dude, I mean, look at the quality for $2.99. You know what I mean?
My man was actually at New York Comic Con today on the second level working, inking Greg Capullo's art for the Batman Spawn crossover.
Yeah, dude. I am.
Cool. He's on the phone. He's on the phone and inking at the con at the same time, like it's just no big deal.
Dude, he's there.
I'm just sitting here like, what a pro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Justin, can you be like on the phone in the middle of a Comic Con, lettering books at the same time?
I've done it before.
Of course you can, because you're a freaking pro.
I've done it before.
He's been at my coffee table live on YouTube eating biscuits, lettering comic books.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I'm having a conversation with him outside of that.
Exactly. He's good at his job. Justin, you'll appreciate a few of these things I picked up. 8-Bit Do. It is basically a Sega Genesis controller for my Retro Pi.
I'm so proud.
Oh, nice.
I'm getting Hagen. And already got the okay from the wife. We're getting Hagen one of those for Christmas. He's going to love it.
Oh, yeah. This is the Do-It-All Super Nintendo Entertainment System version.
Are they all wireless?
All wireless, Bluetooth, or 2.4 gigahertz. Because I have it mounted behind my thing now. But what's cool about this is basically you can play all the games. So it has the retro look, but everything but basically Nintendo 64. But I have a wired version of that. Now, the creme de la creme.
I didn't think about playing Cruising the World when I was at your house. And oh man, I was upset. Yeah, that's cool.
Super pumped for this one. Look at that.
That's cool.
And what's awesome is you can see it different. Dude, wireless, freaking, and you can upgrade all the buttons like you would a normal arcade system to like the high-end stuff. It's Bluetooth, it's 2.4 gigahertz. Dude, USB-C charging.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So super pumped about that. It does work.
I'm wondering if you have more into that system now than it would have been if you would have just bought everything.
I don't, not for the games.
I was gonna say, well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. When you think about the fact that you literally have like every game for those systems is there.
Literally everything. So I mean, it's phenomenal. And then I bought an on-off switch for it. But that's basically it there.
Earthworm Jim last weekend at his house, Justin. It was awesome. Nick
Dude,
had no clue who Earthworm Jim was. I was like, what is wrong with you?
So you need to come down just to come down and hang out and visit, not necessarily for a con.
Well, see, if it's for a con, it's an easier sell.
Tell your wife to come.
Well, so
drop you off on the way to Disney World.
Yeah, we're fine to Disney though.
What if Nick creates a website for a con in Huntsville that's not real?
Or you could come down to one of these small cons that there's like 4 people at, and
I don't know, the ones we were at last weekend, there was a decent amount of people there for the
but you could do it all in like 2 hours.
Yeah,
Tom, what manga did you pick up, dude? I've been kind of slow on my manga pickup.
That's actually a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, so and I quit reading comic books, guys. Spoiler alert, I have not, but I have been totally diving deep into the world of novels. I don't know why, but good storytelling. So I read The Hobbit. Tonight I'll finish The Fellowship of the Ring, and then I bought a really nice leather pocketbook size set of the Lord of the Rings trilogy with The Hobbit included. And last week I showed off the 1966 Hobbit I bought. But so I'm going to read through that, and then I had this set come in, which is the Game of Thrones set that I'm going to read next, which I'm super pumped about, even though he hasn't finished them. But I love this size.
Oh, there's no way I could read that, dude. That would drive me nuts. Way too small.
This will probably take about 2 weeks a book to read. I read the Hobbit. It took a little bit of time because I was kind of not really serious about it, but I finished up the Fellowship in like 6 days, because I'll finish tonight, and then the Return of the King and the Two Towers. They're only like 300 pages a piece, so that'll be done in like 4 days probably, just depending on what's going on. I even have a fancy book.
Are you still reading Fantastic Four?
I am now, of course. Like I'm behind. There was like a good 10 day period.
I am too. So like the further you get behind is fine, because maybe eventually I could catch up, because
But I will tell you,
like I'm on issue 37.
Yeah, I'm in the mid 80s or early 90s. I don't know the exact number, but I'm reading like 5 or 6 issues a day now. And I want to go on the public record right now and state that I was stupid to ever post anything ever against Jack Kirby, saying Ditko was on the same level as Jack Kirby. When I tell you guys, like 47, 48 and beyond, this man takes off and he creates some of the most beautiful artwork you've ever seen. And specifically, if I'm being honest, like post 65, 70-ish, it is some of the most beautiful artwork. The covers are amazing. His splash pages.
Yep.
Oh my God. I mean, this dude,
that Silver Surfer splash page, I forget what issue it's in, but there's a certain Silver Surfer splash page that is probably the best piece of artwork I've ever seen inside of a comic book.
It's probably this right here.
I don't think that's the one. There's another one. When I get to it, I'll let you. I'll send it to you. I don't remember if it was Surfer or Doom, but yeah.
I mean, I could do this all day.
Yeah, it's outstanding.
Probably that one if it's a Galactus one.
Oh wow, yeah.
Or that one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude. When I started getting there, I mean, Justin, have you ever read much Jack Kirby?
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, so in my opinion, what I'm going to tell you guys is I've always been one to say, like, most comic book artists now are, way better than Silver Age artists. Honestly, just because there's a whole different style, right? But I swear to God, I think Jack Kirby's art stands above and beyond. And I've always been the guy that says, oh, it's just his cover, his interior is not that good. No, where I'm at now, what I've been reading, I swear his artwork would stand against any modern artist. McFarlane, Jim Lee, I don't care. The dude, what he has been able to do with tools he had in his times, it's phenomenal. I have been so blown away.
And it's like, me and Dan were talking about before. If you actually think about this, it blows your mind even more when you think about the fact that today's artists, everything that they're doing, all this beautiful artwork, they've got decades and decades of stuff to look at and use for reference. Yep. This was from his this is his imagination.
And that even makes it more incredible.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you think about it like that, he didn't have something to go back and look at the last 20 years, how Galactus was drawn and depicted, and this, and whenever this, he didn't have that. He was creating it. And I'm like, holy shit, man, to come up with this stuff that he's creating here is just, it's incredible when you think about it. It really is.
It is 100%. It's just, it's so fascinating to me. And not honestly, like the writing's been subpar, the stories have been okay, but the artwork is what makes it actually interesting and made it to where I can't, like, I'll spend a good bit of time reading Lord of the Rings, and I'll stop and I'll read a couple of issues, and I'm like, dang, like for the first time since picking up Fantastic Four, I've wanted to continue reading more. Yeah. And Spider-Man, I never really had that issue, but I'm finally at the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to read a bunch at a time. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into the John Byrne stuff too, because I've that's all I've heard and seen people comment is wait till you get to the John Byrne stuff. Wait till you get to the John Byrne stuff. So,
B. Raimi, no, I've never read it before. This is my first read through of The Hobbit, all of it. I just pre-ordered, and I'm gonna get past this talk and let you guys show off what you picked up, and so we can go back to the New York Comic-Con talk. But I also just pre-ordered a really nice hardcover, the Similarian. What is it called, Justin?
I can't pronounce it, but that's close.
Yeah. But it's the illustrated version, so it has all of the text and stuff. But as it's going through, it drops in his artwork. And honestly, like I think Tolkien, I have right here is his art book. I forget what they call it, but all of his artwork and stuff he's done. And honestly, that's what has made me fall even further in love with the Tolkien world, is just the artwork behind it and the history behind him just creating it. Just it's been really awesome. But you're right, Justin. The tone between Hobbit to Fellowship, and it just getting darker and darker as kind of a darker tone shift. But I will tell you, it's ruined the movies for me wholeheartedly, because even though I love The Hobbit, it's my favorite movie ever created. They definitely didn't do it as good as the books did it. Do you feel that way?
So I always felt cheated by The Hobbit. Just because you read it and you get through the book, and all of the cool battle stuff happens off screen or off panel.
Yeah.
So you never get to really experience it, because the story is told from the point of view of Bilbo, and Bilbo is knocked out and passed out for the battle. So
yeah, for sure. Now,
I figured out what splash page that was, Nick. I can't remember. I don't remember what issue it is.
Okay, but
it's Dr. Doom and Silver Surfer.
Okay, so I may have not gotten there yet. Unless I have, I didn't screenshot it. But Justin, also Lord of the Rings, Tom Bombadil, they missed out on a great opportunity. Okay. I was talking to Josh a little bit about this. He's like, oh, yeah.
That's my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
If I could get this blown up poster size without the word bubbles, I would put 4 of them behind me.
Honestly, though, the word bubbles also is kind of what makes it cool, but I see what you're saying, though.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I would love to find somebody who can take like splash pages or even some of the old pinups and be able to blow them up and be like still good quality. I would love to replace movie posters with that stuff.
Justin, on an ethical level, is that like a bad deal if you're not selling it?
If you're not selling it, I don't see what's wrong with it.
Cool.
Plus, Jack Kirby's dead, so I mean, it's not like I'm taking money out of his pocket.
It's true. That is true. Yeah, honestly, we could probably with some of the high-res digital artwork now, just like Perry said, take a screenshot of it on like a really high-quality screen, and that probably would be fine. Just Photoshop them. Taking it out of his coffin.
Somewhere to get them printed.
What's up, Bronze Page? B. Raimi, I will definitely. I'm going to have my hands full the next couple months, but I'm really enjoying this type of storytelling, which I didn't think I would ever enjoy, because I've always been very intimidated by the size books. But after reading Spider-Man, I'm like, there's no reason to be intimidated. All it is some time. So, Tom Bombadil. Dustin, do you know who Tom Bombadil is?
No.
Okay. Greatest Lord of the Rings character ever. Okay. All right. Let me show you just a screenshot so you can get.
I mean, I will say I don't think I've ever been able to stay awake long enough to watch all the Lord of the Rings. I love the Hobbit movies, but the Lord of the Ring movies, I'm not a real big fan of.
This is Tom Bombadil.
Okay.
I don't know why. This is the funniest dude in the entire what do you call it? Tolkien verse, whatever. So far I've read. And I love this, right? And his big thing is old Tom Bombadil is a merry fellow, bright blue his jacket, and his boots be yellow. Or boots are yellow, sorry. And he's like literally, Justin, I talked to Josh a little bit about it, but like, is he a god? Is he an angel? Like, but he's never explained. And then I also read that Tolkien was like, some things don't need explanations, especially when there are actually explanations to be given. It kind of removes the lore of it or the excitement. But like Dustin, this dude is like older than anything else in the Tolkien verse. You know, he's just, it's weird.
So it's been a while since I read it. He speaks in song, correct?
Mm-hmm. Basically, okay. Like he just kind of he's early on in the Fellowship. He's with Frodo before they get to.
I wonder why they didn't use him as a character in the movie. It sounds like he'd be a pretty cool character.
So yeah. The reason why they didn't use him in the movie is because, like I said, it's been a while since I read it, but if I remember it correctly, basically the hobbits, as they're on their way to, they've already met up with Aragorn at this point, correct?
Or what they call is Strider. Yeah.
Strider. Okay.
Strider.
So,
yeah.
So the hobbits and Strider are on their way to Rivendell. And along the way, they run into Tom, and they just spend a month hanging out with Tom.
And that's the whole, like the whole time they're just chilling, dude.
So that's why it wasn't in the movie, because how do you show just hanging out for a month?
Yeah. Well, and at the same time, what kind of blew me away is in the movies, which I get, there was a huge sense of urgency. Gandalf was like, "You need to leave now," and none of that happened. Frodo didn't leave until his 50th birthday. You know, he was just chilling in the shower with his ring. And, you know, then they hung out with Bombadil for a month, and they were at Rivendell for a couple of months. And it's like, where's the sense of urgency we got in the movies? You know? And I'm just to the point now to where we got to the Mirror of Galadriel, or sorry, just got past that. I think that's either the last chapter or the next to the final chapter of that book. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of like interesting characters that we haven't seen a lot of, like what's his name? Orlando Bloom's character,
Legolas.
Legolas. Sorry, there's so many names, and I still have a hard time picking and remembering. Like, he's not that big of a deal. He didn't even show up until they got to Rivendell. In the movies, he was there before the water, the river flood. You know what I mean? Which I thought they did that really well in the movies. Anywho's,
the river flood.
Remember wherever the ring wraiths were chasing them, and they got to the river, and then the female elf, which was
Arwen.
There. Yeah,
Arwen.
Yeah. So,
hey, do you want me to ruin some things for you? I'll tell you right now. Did you know that Arwen and Aragorn are kind of related?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
No. The fjord. Anywho, that's enough Lord of the Rings talk, but I've been super excited, and I'm glad Justin was here for me to be able to vent some of that. My bad, Dustin. That's all I picked up. You guys go ahead. Dustin looks incredibly bored.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was actually doing some research for conversation. Something that I had thought about.
What did you think about?
Just about the exclusives deal thing.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw Thorough's got like 50 people watching because that's what he's talking about right now. We just happen to be live when Thorough's on there just getting after him. So, all right. So this one I haven't shown, but I've had for a while. So if you follow us on Instagram, you've probably seen it. But I finally got the book that got me started in comic books. I've got raw copies, but this was something I wanted in a 9.8 for a long time. Never come up for sale. Never, which is crazy. You would think Power Rangers, you'd be able to get it, they'd be up for sale all the time. it just never comes up for sale. And I didn't really want a signature series, but got this one actually cheaper than a blue label. And I was like, you know what? Never see it. There's one. Made a deal on it. And I was excited as I could be to finally get this freaking book. So now I want to get the 3-0 Lord Draken so that I can put it next to the Green Ranger. And then I guess I got to get the 3-0 White Ranger because I have my White Ranger 9.8, which is actually at CGC right now for a reholder, which has not been checked in, and it's been there for like a week and a half. So I'm a little bit nervous on that one.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Everyone from CGC was here in New York, so you're fine.
Well, see, I sent 2 reholder books in. I sent my Iron Fist 14, 8.5, and my White Ranger 9.8 in at the same time that I sent a bunch of other regular books in. And those have all been checked in. They were in the same box, but my reholders have not been checked in yet. So I'm like, oh, hell. Please don't lose my books. Please don't lose my books. And then, of course, I'll show you guys because the video is finally out. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. I picked up what I would consider to be this was definitely a grail book for me. Fantastic 451 CGC 9.0. Stupid hard to get this book. And
people have been loving the video.
Yeah, I was surprised. Honestly, I thought I would see more people saying, oh, it's not that hard to find that in a high grade, or oh, there's not in a high grade because nobody cares about it. That's honestly what I expected, because you just, every time you see this book, it is beat, tattered, and just, loved. And I like to think that it's because the story inside's so good. People just kept reading it. But I've been looking for this book since before Christmas. But I did not want to low grade because this is probably one of my absolute favorite comic books that I've ever read. With probably, honestly, I think the Thing may be my favorite character in comics at this point. And this is the quintessential Thing comic book. And I think it's very undervalued and underappreciated. So when I was able to finally find one on short boxed in a 9.0, I moved mountains to make that happen and be able to secure that book. And I was very, very happy about that. And also made somebody else happy with another book. So that was cool.
I really like short box. That's a good service they provide.
Yeah. And the good thing is like, it was a little sad letting my Uncanny X-Men 266 go, because that was the first big book I ever purchased, and like never thought about letting it go. But it was the right move at this time. But the good thing is I know who has it, and if for whatever reason I decide that I just can't live without having that specific copy back, I'll buy another 9.8 and just trade him for my copy back, and then he has a 9.8, and then I'll have my actual copy back. So I was just like, you know what? I know it's going to be in good, safe hands in a good household where it's being taken care of and completely ignored. So, I'll have a shot of getting it back if I want to. I'll just buy another 9.8 and trade them even.
Yeah, I would say that I'm willing to bet that the person who owns it now probably has it in the closet, never to be seen in the light of day again.
Exactly. Exactly. What's up, Rob? But yeah, I can't think of, my Avengers 4. I won't say the Spotlight 5 because I didn't know that one was coming, but the Avengers 4, I don't know if I was more excited about going to pick that up or waiting on this to come in the mail. But I will say that I bought the book, paid for it on Saturday. The book was at my house on Monday. It was incredible. It was incredible. It wasn't supposed to be there till Tuesday, but it showed up on Monday. So I was absolutely blown away by that. And yeah. So how many people? I don't know anybody else with this book in this high grade or higher. It's just that hard. To me, yeah. There's like I said, there's less than 115 copies out there between 9.0 and 9.6 with no 9.8s.
Uh-oh. So 9.8 would be like $1 million.
Imagine finding a book. Imagine finding one of them. Imagine finding a 9.6 that hasn't been graded in 20 years and just has a couple little pressable defects on it.
What if you pressed a 9.0 to a 9.8?
I was really hoping my initial thoughts as soon as this got to the house was I was going to crack it open. If there was anything on it that looked like it could be improved, I was going to take the chance. But I mean, it's a legit 9.0. There's definitely not any improvements to be made. Whoever did this did a really good job on it. It's not dirty on the back at all. All the parts are very clean. The only thing that sucks is it's off white to white pages, but I mean, whatever. But yeah, it's definitely a legit 9.0, and it was just graded this year, like a couple of months ago. So, I almost missed out on the book. I hadn't been on Shortbox in months and months and months, and yeah, man cave. I know, right? So pumped, dude. So pumped. But I forgot that I even had that book on my watch list. And when I finally logged back into Shortbox, I saw that I had like 4 or 5 notifications where the guy had sent me offers on it for lower than the price he had. And I was like, oh my God, I bet it's gone. And then I made him an offer and I way lowballed him. And so he hit me with a higher number. So I hit him with the same price that he gave me an offer for before, and he didn't do anything. And my wife's like, well, maybe he's just not looking at his phone. I said, oh, no, he's looking at his phone. I said, he responded to the last one real quick. I said, he is messing with me right now so bad. So I immediately sent him another offer like 10 minutes later for $10 more, and he accepted it. And I was like, I told my wife, I was like, see? I was like, this bastard's watching. I promise. I said, he knew I wanted this book. I was posting on Facebook. I was posting on Instagram. Is this your book? Because you can't contact anybody on Shortbox. And I wasn't trying to get around paying through Shortbox. I was just trying to be like, hey, did you see my offer? But hey, made it happen. So I'm as excited as can be. So what you got, Justin, Mr. Fancy New York man?
You know what? I'm gonna try this. I don't know if it'll work. My main thing that I was excited about doing was getting some books signed and witnessed and turned over to CGC. And a big thank you to my presser, the comic book chiropractor, who rushed some books through the press so that I could have them in time for this show. So I have pictures of them. Right, that's all I have right now is pictures until they come back from CGC. So the first one up is X-Men 251.
Nice.
Let me do that. Is signed by Chris Claremont and Mark Silvestri. And you'll notice the cool thing about this one is that Claremont did not sign over the X-Men title. I did not tell him to do that. He just did it on his own. Which is
awesome. It's probably because that bird's in there, and he was like, this freaking bird. I don't want it to mess up my signature.
Maybe that was it. And then the one that I'm really excited about, this is actually the first book that he signed. So I think this is why he decided to sign them both the same way. But we've got X-Men 234. This is actually triple signed by Chris Claremont, Mark Silvestri, and Joe Rubenstein down there across.
I like the fact he has it dated.
I was about to say the same thing.
So, I mean, they all did silver. It was, I was really excited. Honestly, like their prices too for the signatures were pretty good. Like Claremont was only charging $20 per signature. Rubenstein was only charging $20 per signature. Silvestri was charging $30 per signature, except for on that 251, there was an extra $1, so it was $35. So I don't know, just an iconic cover, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So
Did they upcharge you for having a CGC witness?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Claremont normally charges 10, but if you get a witness, it's 20.
Okay.
I didn't get Silvestri's prices if it was a non-CGC witness. I think Rubenstein. Is it Rubenstein or Rubenstein?
I've always said Rubenstein, but I've heard other people say Stein. So,
well, the big thing is it Berenstein Bear or Berenstein Bears?
I always said Berenstein Bears.
Yeah,
me
so
too. Apparently, we're all wrong.
It's Bearstein.
It's something very weird. It's not the Berenstein Bears. It's not even spelled that way. It's one of those weird Fugazi things where like you think in your mind, but it's not.
You remembered it a certain way, and like everybody does, but when you go look at it, it's like you were wrong the whole time. I think some of that's bull crap. I think they
changed ruining my childhood.
I know. I think they changed stuff. There was some TikTok guy that was showing like that was like his whole channel, and I've sat for like 2 hours watching this stuff, and I was like, and I'd go check, and I was like, oh no.
So it's Berenstain Bears.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
No,
that sounds terrible.
It's not. It's not going to do it.
Yeah.
So that was my main.
You call it the Berenstain Bears. You just get your ass out of our chat right now. Just get the hell out of here.
This has become a Bearstein Bear fan channel all of a sudden. We
see Mars.
We need to get some shirts made.
Too funny.
I was just joking. I didn't even see that comment before I said that.
I see. I highlighted it. Yeah, he's kidding. Please don't leave.
So we're that was the thing that I was from the collector side of things. That was the thing I wanted the most while I was here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this show is a work show for me where I'm just spend a majority of my time talking to people and not digging through long boxes. Not that there are a lot of long boxes to dig through, which I guess is a separate thing that we can move on to after this.
Yeah.
So the only other thing that I picked up that I actually spent money on at the show was
the best statue he has bought yet.
Look at
that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Iron Studios 1/10 scale Sabretooth, which is sold out. Sold out. And like
that is literally my favorite depiction of Sabretooth. Like, I mean, the original, like old school style, you know, he still has a little bit of that human look to him, but it's like all that goes away when you start getting to to like the Jim Lee style. I love it. And that's the way he looked in the animated series. That's why I ended up being a big fan of his, because I mean, the character in the animated show I always thought was he just scared me as a little kid, and I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, and I got a really good deal on it. Like I saw it and they were asking retail price for it, and I walked up and I was just like, so is that the final price? Like thinking like, are you going to charge me tax for it? And like he's like, I don't know, let me go check. And he went up to the person in charge, and he came back. He's like, we could do 170, and I'm like, okay. So retail 190. They offer me 170. So I go up and pay for it, and I'm like, can I leave it here for the rest of the? I'll pick it up at the end of the day when I'm ready to leave. I don't want to carry the box around. And she was like, yeah, that's fine, sure. And she's like, okay, with tax it's like 185, and I'm like, okay. And I like pull out the cash and start counting. She's like, oh, you're paying cash, 170 even. And I was like, this is an incredible deal.
Look at you. You've been hanging around me at these Comic-Cons long enough. You working them deals, man.
Like, I was happy to pay 190. I just didn't want to pay tax.
Oh, no. Never be happy with paying what the asking price is. Not until they've told you no. Multiple times you've walked around, come back, and it's still there. And then you make mention that I've been gone for hours and it's still here. Are you sure you don't want to come down? And then if you absolutely have to have it, you can be okay with paying the price on the sticker. Otherwise, no.
Well, you just do like me and you just pay more.
Yeah.
I've got 3 more things to show off, and then that's it for me.
As long as none of them are in your pants. We don't have time for you to empty your pockets.
Fine. I traded some work for comics. So if you need a comic that's lettered and you have comic books that I'm interested in, I will trade.
So Justin Birch is a Comic Co.
Yes.
Maybe I should offer like pressing and cleaning for book. I mean, I would do that.
Yeah.
All day. Like, you got some cool Silver Age FFs? I got some free pressing for you then. What's up?
Yeah. So my trading my friend Steven, he had a book that needs lettered. I guess I'm lettering the whole series now. The first book he gave me was Radioactive Spider-Gwen #2. And this was just a throw on. This was not part of the original deal. So there's that. And then he this is one of the books, Ultimate Comics All New Spider-Man #1.
Whoa, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's beat to shit though.
Yeah, I bet it's got that polybag crease on it too.
Like, hey Justin, you got to cut that shit out. We don't cuss on the Babylon.
Sorry, it's before midnight. And
regardless of what it looks like, dude, like that's still a good book, man.
Yeah. And I don't have one of those, so I was happy to get it. But the main book that I got out of this trade was a Edge of Spider-Verse 2.
Look at you.
It's gonna need a good press.
That's a first print, right?
Like it needs a good cleaning too.
Yeah, it's a first print.
Dang, you don't have a first print, or you do?
Oh no, I have a first print in a 9/8, and it's got the black error background.
Okay, so now you're gonna have both, and you're gonna get the label with that one. So.
Oh no, like this is totally like it's gonna be sent off to be pressed and cleaned, and it's gonna get graded, and it's going to be trade bait.
Oh, well, there you go.
What's up, Tony, Mars, Alan?
By the way, I did get your Spider-Gwen #1 packed up and sent out, and I did request custom label for you. So
that's fine. I mean, if that one comes back in 9/8 with that label, then I'll get rid of the other two.
Chris, I was just making a joke whenever I said it. That's why I cussed when I said you gotta stop cussing. It was a joke.
I actually was trying to decide because this is the one that I was supposed to have the Doom label on, and it came back with no Doom label, so now it looks like this. I was like, okay, we forgot to add the labels, but we'll get it figured out. I was thinking about sending this one in to get graded at one point. I actually had it pressed and I cleaned it up really nice. There was a weird signature on here. I couldn't figure out whose it was, so I removed the signature. And I was like, man, this is a book that is kind of hard to find. And I was like, in a 9/8, somebody would probably want it until this guy made, I think pretty much everybody is dislikes him and hates his guts now. So I was like, maybe we won't worry about grading that one.
I couldn't tell who it was.
CM Punk. I think that's like there might be that's the only cover he's on where it's just him. I think he's like on another cover at some point where like there's other people on it, but like that's just him on that one. And that's actually the Hot Topic exclusive for Mick Foley's WWE Superstars. And I think it's issue 0. So it's like almost like an ash can. But yeah, Mick Foley wrote the books. It's a whole series, and that's the CM Punk one, best in the world. I've got another one that it's an ASM 316 homage with Mark Henry beating up John Cena. I picked both of these up at Huntsville Comic-Con year before last. And both
What's
of them
up,
had
Kyle?
the same signature, and I couldn't tell whose signature it was. Had no idea. I knew it wasn't Mick Foley's, so I was like, I'm taking this off. It's not Mick Foley, it's not CM Punk, because the other book was also signed with it, and he's not on that one. So I was like, all right, we're taking this off. Gotta go. So whoever paid to have that book signed, I'm sorry. All right, let's get back to regular screen here and do a little bit of this. And so, Justin, tell us about New York Comic Con. What did you see as far as the comic scene goes? Obviously, I'm sure tons and tons of walls with huge, crazy books on them. So
with great deals. Yeah.
So tell us. Let's start there. As far as the big books on the walls, you and I kind of talked about it a little bit, and I've always kind of had the assumption that it would be this way with having that New York Comic Con tax on there, that the little inflated price for the New York Comic Con convention.
So give a little background here. I go to conventions of all sizes, right? Fire hall shows, medium-sized shows, and big shows like this. Now, big shows like this, I consider New York. I consider C2E2. Heroes in Baltimore are big, but they're not big in the same way as this. Those are pure Comic Cons.
Yeah,
these
way
are
better.
More media mixed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the comic. If you were here to buy comics, and there are people who do come here to buy comics, to buy back issues and stuff like that, I hope that this isn't the only show that people go to do that.
Yeah.
Because it really, honestly, to me, feels like that section of those comic vendors is just getting smaller and smaller, and it's getting pushed more and more over to the wall, and slowly they're pushing it to the back.
It's kind of turning into like C2E2, because I've heard there's not a ton of comic stuff going on at not C2E2, San Diego.
Yes, 100%. This is definitely it's more of a trade show. Nick, I think you would love it. I've been coming to New York Comic Con for, I think, maybe 5 or 6 years now. I've never seen anime or manga have as large of a presence at this show than this year. One Piece had a huge dedicated booth.
Dragon Ball
there were 2 huge booths for Dragon Ball. One for
Did you take any pictures of that?
No, I didn't take any pictures.
I saw somebody say that the Dragon Man had the biggest booth at the show.
Yeah.
I saw that. So I actually saw several people say that.
So they had Dragon Ball had 2 booths. One was like a dedicated clothesline from the superhero movie, and the other was like just like a huge display. The One Piece display was massive. Like they had a huge statue of Luffy. I can never pronounce his name.
Yeah.
It's called a loofah.
Yeah, that's it. And of the ship itself. So like that was cool. A huge booth for Crunchyroll. Chainsaw Man, he had a huge booth and presence here. Like if you were into anime and manga, like you had a good time.
Yeah.
But it's called New York Comic Con.
Yeah, that's kind of like, that's one thing with some of the shows that we go to is, and I understand like the manga and anime stuff is really popular, and you know these shows need to have that presence to help bring people in to buy tickets, to pay the bills. But I hate when I go to a Comic-Con and there's more of that than there are comic books, and I'm like, well, why am I here then? Because this is not for me. Change the name from Comic-Con to Pop Culture Convention. You know, that's one thing that Jeremy does. You know, it's Comics and Pop Culture Convention Expo, and that kind of lets you know, like, this is not a singular comic book show, and so you kind of expect it. That's another reason why I loved Heroes so much, because it was nothing but comic books. Like that was all you saw. There was a couple of toy vendors, but those guys got pushed off to the side and the back. Comic books, all the comic book booths were up front. They took up the entire center of the entire building. All the artists and stuff like that, they got pushed to the back. Like you can tell Heroes is about the books, and that's the forefront when you walk in of everything going on there. And that's why I always say it now, and I will say it until it changes. But it's the best show I've ever been to. I'll never miss it again. I'll miss every show that ever gets put on again, but I will not miss Heroes again, ever.
Never.
Ever. It was so. I didn't look at a lot of booths, right? Because I told myself I wasn't going to buy comics at this show, so I didn't really want to look.
Yeah.
So full disclaimer, I did not look at Barry Gary's booth. I expected him to be priced fairly because he was priced fairly at Terrificon in July.
Mm-hmm.
So I expected that to be the same here.
Yeah,
so,
I've always heard Gary's pretty fair, and he's pretty good about working with you on price too.
Yes.
Because I've done a couple of deals with him in the DMs before over the years. And I mean, he was, and this was before he, before we had any kind of a following or anything. He didn't know who we were or anything, I'm sure. So, he seems to be one that's always been pretty fair. And he seems like a stand-up guy for sure. I mean, I've never heard a bad word about the guy, never seen anything that made me have kind of like any kind of questionable doubt or anything about him. So.
Well, let's put it this way. You wouldn't feel bad spending well, obviously you wouldn't. You've done it in the past. You wouldn't feel bad giving him money for a book.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we'll take him out because I didn't look. Everybody else, it seemed like their prices on books were the prices on books from last summer.
Which is crazy because books aren't even selling right now for the prices that they were selling for last week. A lot of times it's so that's wild right there.
Yeah.
Did you see Elite? Did you see their booth? I bet they had some wild books up there.
No, I did not see them.
Okay. I'm sure Ali probably had some wild stuff at his booth.
I saw Absolute Comics and Statues.
Exactly, Perry. They're just Japanese comic books. Dustin and Justin can piss from here all the way off.
Like I'm not disagreeing with you. Like I love manga. I read it. Like I was reading it on my iPad before I jumped on here. So,
what are you reading now, by the way?
Sakamoto Days.
Oh, is that good? I want to read it, but I'm waiting.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah. Okay. I've gotten in this groove where, total sidetrack, but like, I'm reading Fantastic Four. Once I'm done there, and maybe if I have some extra time around Christmas, I'll probably just sit down and just binge a ton of manga all at one time, catch up, read a whole new series like I did with Chainsaw Man, and then kind of move on. But because like manga is so easy to read that like if I were to try to do what I'm doing now, I would read all of manga in like 6 months that I was interested in. So I got to stop.
But with manga, like, okay, could you have a show that was just all manga? Like, is there that many of those books that people are just hunting them down because they're hard to find? You can't get your hands on them.
No, that's the
collections.
That's the benefit of manga is because they're constantly reprinting. You can basically buy 95, I would say like 90-95% of any manga you want.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's. I'm not discrediting that they are comic books. It's just it's a whole different deal. I've never seen people or heard of people that are just like hunting down an entire Chainsaw Guy or Chainsaw Man set. Like Nick just buys them, online and they're available. They're there.
I love and I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to be offended because it's not an offensive comment. I genuinely do like this. I love the way you say hunting. I can't pronounce it the way you do, but something about the way the N and the T kind of roll together, I like it.
Well, I only said that so that you wouldn't give me shit for saying hunting like I normally would.
How did you say it a second ago? Because like it was,
I don't know.
It was very nice.
Hunting.
It was like a good mixture of like the correct like hard G. I don't know, but I liked it. And again, don't be offended by that. I was being genuine. Is it bad now that I have to like before I compliment or make a statement, I have to be like, look, this is not me being
well, if you weren't always such a dick.
Look, we have not had any issues in like 9 months.
No, that's true. That's true.
I'm the problem. It's me.
No, it's not you. I think we took a lot of stress off of the channel just with so many things we had going on. And we just found joy in not like the stress isn't there right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
And my statement wasn't so much driven towards the fact that manga are present at the show as much as like you walk in and there's like 40 booths of like just little trinket like things like just stuff that's just like especially when you see stuff that has nothing to do with comics or manga or any like. And when there's more of that stuff than there are comic book booths at a Comic-Con, I'm just like, what is this? And it's not like I'm not saying like it's just not my preference. That's not the kind of Comic-Con that I enjoy. So I make it a point whenever I go to one and it's like that, I might give it another shot. But if it's like that again, then I'm like, okay, I already know going into it that this is not going to be a show that they're going to have anything for me. But then there's always the thought in my mind that what if everybody else is thinking that? And then there is like one thing there. Like, what do I do? Do I go? Because there might be something there. I'm a fan of like the smaller shows because sometimes it don't take but one good vendor to be there. You know, like tomorrow we're going to the Atlanta Comic Book Convention. Happens 4 times a year, every single year since like 1991, and it is packed. It is a packed room, wall to wall, table to table. Sometimes you have to ask where one vendor's boxes start and the next ones start because they're that crammed together, and it is just nothing but comics.
Yeah,
and you find awesome deals in there. You will find books that you've been hunting down that you can't find anywhere else. You can buy your run fillers there. You can buy the big, huge Grail books there. I mean, it's such a great mixture of everything you could want in a comic book show. It's just on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
Is it in a hotel ballroom?
It is.
Oh.
It is. So me and the guys we're going to be getting there early in the morning. We're actually going to, because we know pretty much half the vendors, so we're just going to walk in with the vendors in the morning and get there early and hang out with those guys. Mark's going to be there, so I'll have to go by and bother him for a little while, see if he's made any movement on Pancake Cat since we talked to him last weekend. Dave's Comics is going to be there, so it's going to be a fun time, man. I always find something cool at that show every time.
Those are the best.
Dustin does enjoy the hunting.
Yeah, that's more fun. I don't even have to buy anything. I just love going in there. I want, and you can ask Justin. Just last time we were there, he's like, "What do you like?" Tom. He's like, "You walk in the door and you turn into like this like comic book Terminator or something." I forget what he said. He's like,
we walked into Heroes and like I had to make sure that like you were next to me because I could tell you just wanted to like go.
That's it, man. I want to get my hands in every box. I want to touch every book and look at every single book in there because there's so much of this shit, man. And there's so much out there that I don't even know I need. And then I pull it out and I'm like, holy hell, how did I not know about this? And I hate feeling like I missed something. Yeah. I hate it. And I'll find myself digging at a booth for 30 minutes. And then I'll find myself, shit, man. I wonder I've spent a lot of time here. I wonder what's going on over there at that booth. There's a lot of people over there. And the next thing I know, I flipped through a whole short box, didn't even look at any of them. So now I have to start over. I mean, like I am like, I get so in the zone. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I want to see everything. I want to just honestly kick everybody out except me and the vendors and just have like 3 days to myself to literally look at every single book. That's my dream Comic-Con, actually.
You need to get a dealer badge for Heroes for next year so you can just get in there early like everybody else.
Well, it worked out this past year. So it worked out this past year. I was gifted a dealer badge to get in on Saturday early. So that was super awesome. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm good buddies with guys. They get a booth literally just so we have somewhere to sit down, leave our bag, have a couple of beers. So I'll probably be hanging out there again and hopefully get a dealer badge with them. So we'll see. And
Nick, you're gonna go this time, right?
Actually, let me Google it. Heroes Con.
I know, right? Been here 5 minutes. Been here 20 minutes, spent $5,000.
I'm not saying that happened to me in Lexington, but
yeah, it did. We were looking for Dangerously Terrific And as soon as we found them, it was on.
I should have waited 6 months.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
hope
it's all right. Those are some awesome guys. So
I hope they're in Baltimore.
I don't know if they will be or not. I can ask them. I know we got invited to go out to a private sale they're doing at their house.
Nice.
In November, dude. They're gonna have some monsters, dude. He sent me some pictures. He's got like 3 raw copies of Journey into Mystery 83. He's got some raw, really, really nice raw Submariner Golden Age stuff, Fantastic Four ones, X-Men ones. Like if it's big and something crazy, like you've seen their booth, you know. He's like, dude, we've got so much big stuff like this that hasn't even made it to a show yet. And I'm just like, y'all always have like the biggest selection of big books. Like, you want a Hulk one? We've got 2 in different grades. Take your pick, you know.
Plus, they're just fun guys to talk to. Like,
oh yeah,
and they love messing with me. So
yeah, yeah. I love those guys. I'm glad we've gotten to be pretty sociable with them for sure. It's a lot more fun when you walk into a show and you're like, oh, I know half the dealers here, and you can just like, it just gives you more people to like shoot the shit with while you're digging. I mean, you know, because I mean, I honestly, I think sometimes that hurts you more on bargaining, because I don't know if they want to give you as good a deal because they know you're going to come back anyway because you're friends. But yeah, I mean, it's fun though. I love going to these conventions, man. I hate that there's not a whole lot more left that I'm going to be able to get to this year. So that's kind of got me down a little bit. I've got the one tomorrow, and then I think we've got one out towards Nycc way, first weekend in November. I think there's a couple of them like right there that like in November somewhere that's not too far from Nycc. But other than that, unless I just happen to see one pop up, I don't have a whole lot left. Mark, we have not talked Werewolf by Night yet, but we're gonna get into it. So okay, so the prices at New York, you know, still pretty high. What about you? You were saying something about you didn't see a lot of boxes of books there, like there wasn't a lot of diggable boxes.
So the main issue that I have is if I'm going to dig through a long box or just any sort of box, I want to be able to have the shoulder, like the elbow room to do it.
Yeah.
So many people that you're sort of kind of trying to do it. Like I'm going to like one-handed, like flipping through, like, you know, with one arm pinned behind your back so you can fit. Like it's just weird. So many people, it's not enjoyable.
Yeah, and that's kind of how this show tomorrow is that I'm going to. Sometimes I feel like the runt puppy that just can't get in there and get to a teat, because everybody's like, it's just a line of people at the boxes, and like I've literally
dusting in his comic teats.
I've literally been digging in a box, like, you know, I start out like this, and then people are getting closer, and then I'm like this, and the next thing I know, somebody else is in my box, and I'm like, how did I get pushed out of here? Because I'll pick a book up and I'm looking at it. Next thing I know, they've closed in on me, and my box is not reachable anymore. And I'm like, how did this happen? So then I'm just trying to, like, you know, get back in there, and I'm like, and it's a line, you know, people are in a line, and I'm like, well, I was in the line, I got pushed out of the line. Do I have to go to the back, or can I just, what do I do? And I've had issues where somebody's like, hey man, you can't just walk up and cut. And I was like, dude, I was standing here when you were 4 boxes down there. Like, that old man right there pushed me out of the way. He was like some real old guy. He had to be like in his late 70s. Ooh. And he just elbowed me out the way. Like, he just kind of like this right here, and started digging in my box while I was looking at a book. I was like, come on, Pops, you just push me out the way.
Wait, was he carrying a briefcase?
No, not that I remember. I don't know.
Like, that's my favorite thing, to see those like 70, 80-year-old dudes who still do this. Like they
I know a guy that's in his I think he's in his 30s that does it. He's actually in the chat. Like, he's pretty much known for the briefcase at the comic shows and going to the local comic shop with it.
Is
Like
it
that's old school.
Do we meet him in Lexington?
No, you never met him in person.
You know who I'm talking about, right? Big tall guy showed up with this.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
No, I actually like this guy. He's one of my favorite people to listen to talk comics and talk comics with.
There's nothing wrong with the briefcase.
And he's also died like 46 times in his life.
I almost giggled, but then I held it in because that's not funny.
Yeah, but he's not dead though. He doesn't die. That's like his catchphrase, don't die. Literally his catchphrase. Oh, love your comics and don't die. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'll just let you think on it.
I bet you I could guess.
He says, I told you I was talking about Dan. You know who I was talking about, Rob.
Hey, Dan, have a great night, by the way. All right, so what else is going on at New York Comic Con? Anything fun, exciting?
I got one funny story to tell.
I love it. I'm here for funny stories.
Okay, so this is a public service announcement. I do not want you to be like the person in this story I'm going to tell. Okay, and if you are this person in the story I'm going to tell, just don't tell me to my face. Okay. So we were at the Mad Cave signing for Nottingham, and it was the artist Shane and the writer David and myself. We're sitting at the table, and a guy walks up, and he's just like, "Oh man, what is this stuff?" And we're like, and David told him what it was about, and he's like, "Oh man, this sounds great. I didn't bring any money for comics though, but I know a website, and when I get home, I'm gonna read the shit out of these." And like David and I just were like, "Did he just?" And it was like, "Yeah, he said that." So my public service announcement is: do not say that you're going to pirate comics in front of the people who make them. That is all.
What an idiot. Oh my God.
I've never experienced that before. Ever.
What I will tell you though is this is certainly one of the best comic books that's been out in quite some time. Even better that it's a Justin Birch book.
He said I've only died 3 times officially.
You know, can we start a movement with Mad Cave where they move the letter's name like not last?
No, yeah, I'm supposed to be last. It's fine.
No. I think that's.
I wonder did they do a hardcover for Nottingham?
Yes, for the first volume.
Yeah, I need to get that because I didn't finish it, but I really enjoyed it when I was starting it off. Oh, Nick,
yeah, did he give you the name of the website?
Did you see that? David is actually looking like he's going to be pushing for the idea on the hardcovers.
Yeah, David and Drew Zucker on the Kanto hardcovers. Yeah. Yes,
like a.
So I posted
comics better get some credit on that.
Yeah, because I posted on there forever ago. I was like, we need these. Now I bet you 100% it's going to be like some weird whatnot funded, exclusive only through their streaming.
Yeah, because I've hammered them with it every time I saw something post like something about like a trade paperback. It'd be like, nah, we need volume 1 hardcover.
Well, we need like once they're done, we need all of the hardcovers in one big ass, thick.
So he put on his Instagram the other day a poll like, would you would you want like an omnibus type? Would you want a deluxe with a slipcase? I was like, bro, the deluxe with the slipcase, perfect.
Like a library edition slipcase. Yeah.
Like all we need, like just do volume 1. Just do volume 1 to start.
No, you need it all.
No, I'm saying do volume 1 to start though, like as its own hardcover. God dang, Justin, how big you want this damn book to be?
No, I want it to
be thick as fuck.
No.
I want a volume 1 and a volume 2, all in the same book, hardcover. Because that's like what, 12 issues? Like 13 issues?
Plus you got to have the Clockwork Fairies.
Yeah, put that bridge. So we're looking at like 13 issues.
I guess that's not too many. I forgot that it was a small series. So I guess volume 1 and 2 with the fairies in there. Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then
big boy.
The next hardcover would be your volume 3, your volume 4, and your Tales.
And imagine like the cover for that volume 1 and 2. It's the Canto 1A cover, with the beautiful colors.
No, I got something better. I got a better idea than that.
Okay.
Volume 1 hardcover is Canto. Volume 2 hardcover is the Shrouded Man. So when you put them together,
okay.
Hey, IDW, contact me. I got ideas.
Look, and if you get comps for this somehow, and you get access to ask for a few more, especially if it's funded through Whatnot, especially if it's funded through Whatnot, you gotta find a way to hook up. I'll pay for it. I'm not even asking for free.
I don't think I've gotten too many hardcover comps.
Well, they all suck butt.
All right, so we talked the New York Comic-Con stuff. I guess along with that, let's kind of jump in a little bit on like the exclusive talk real quick, and we won't harp on this too long. Then we're gonna get into the Werewolf by Night, the Daredevil, and then we'll get onto our main topic, talking about and swapping ideas amongst ourselves and with the chat on how to get these books, like these bigger books in a time like now where money's tight and the budget is even tighter, and it's hard to not only just put gas in the truck and but paying for these expensive groceries. So like comic books obviously have to take a back seat to that. So how can we still find a way? So you guys be thinking on that, and so we can
have a good
ideas and stuff in the chat when we get to that. But with the exclusive covers, Justin, did you happen to notice, like, I heard there was just like a ridiculous abundance of exclusive covers?
Yeah, so let's ignore publishers doing their own exclusive covers. Okay, so we'll ignore Vault, we'll ignore Mad Cave. I'm sure IDW had exclusive covers.
Oh, they did. I saw some kind of reel that they popped up, and they had and like I don't know, the ones that I saw from IDW, I was just like, man, that's really like those don't even look as good as the regular covers you guys put out. I would have expected like bigger, like bigger from the publishers, but a lot of times I see that the shops and the what do you call them? Individual people that do them have nicer covers than the retailers themselves do on the exclusives. But anyway, what were you saying?
So let's ignore publisher exclusive covers. It seemed like every vendor,
that was the word I was looking for.
Every vendor had their own version of an exclusive cover.
Yeah. I heard there was just tons and tons of them, and I can't confirm it because I wasn't there. I can't confirm it because I haven't seen every one that's put up for sale, but it from the places that I have looked that have them for sale, it really seems like people are just not about it right now, that they're not moving.
Like, that's the thing. Well, first off, let's get this out of the way. If exclusive covers are your thing, like, cool. We're not saying that's wrong at all. Hey, collect your way, right? It's just
I used to buy them all the time, man. And sometimes I still will. If it's something that is just like, I gotta have that, like, because they do have some fantastic artwork, then I'll still buy one every now and then. I'm not going to pay a crazy price for it, but it's not that it's not something I'm still don't think is cool, but it's just gotten like way crazy with the amount of them.
Yeah. Everybody and their mother seem to have an exclusive cover.
Yeah.
And my big thing has always been, and I didn't even post it this time, I should have, so I could, argue with people. But it's like, even if you find the one that you really love, and you can't be there at the con, don't go on eBay and buy it today. Don't buy it tomorrow. Wait 3 or 4 months. It'll be a $10 book. They always end up being that way. Very few have remained valuable like that. Very few. I can think of the Banana Wolverine one, and hell, that's probably one of the only ones. So just wait.
or become friends with someone who you know is going to be there and ask them to stop and pick it up for you.
But I'm talking about like the AF-15 acetate one before that whole thing kind of picked up. You know, everybody was waiting in line. You knew it was going to be like the hot ones that you're waiting for. Those are the ones that, you know, people are out buying for 3-4 times the price on eBay.
Yeah. And I agree. I agree 100%. I'm actually, I haven't decided how big of a run of Fantastic Four I want to put together, but I agree with you 100%, dude. Like, there's 10 Fantastic Four Silver Age books I'd rather put in my hands than an exclusive cover that is going to be readily available at any point and at some point for a fraction of the price. So I was looking on Facebook and some of the Facebook groups, and there's some resellers on there that Nick and I actually used to interact with and make purchases from. And this is nothing bad on them at all, because like I said, these are people that we've interacted with in the past, and I wouldn't want them to I wouldn't wish ill will on them or anything, but I've noticed in the past, you know, they get out to the cons and they grab the exclusives because they have their following, people that go and purchase books from them consistently. So they'll make the exclusives available to their people. And I was looking today and their New York Comic-Con post, and they had in the comments, you know, it's a claim post in the comments. And I bet they had 50 plus of those exclusives in there. And I counted like 4 of them were claimed, and that was it. Dang. And that was posted yesterday, and they still only had like 4 claimed. That's what I was looking at earlier on my phone. And those guys always have people like just rushing to grab them, and people were not buying them. And I've heard other people saying that they have not seen exclusives moving like they have in the past. And honestly, have you guys heard about like one book? What's the big sell at New York Comic-Con this year? There's always one at New York and at San Diego, or not San Diego, sometimes San Diego, but New York and C2E2. You know, there's always like the one, maybe 2 big ones that everybody's trying to get. It's going crazy in the secondary market. I haven't heard about it. I don't know which one that is this time. I haven't heard. But I
don't know of anything.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the fact that the exclusive market is not exclusive as much as you would think. Hell, they give them to any Joe Schmo out there anymore. Hell, they gave us 2 of them.
Well, we paid a pretty penny for them.
Yeah, and we still have all of them almost. But you know, that was more of a thing of us wanting to give a friend of ours the opportunity to get some professional work out there. His first covers ever. It's a guy that we believe in 100%. That he should definitely be doing this for a living professionally, on a professional level, on a large scale level. And we were lucky enough to be able to provide the opportunity for him to have his first one. And so that was the main thing for that. But yeah, I mean, like Justin said, you know, you go to the con and there's 500 exclusives available. It's like, well, that doesn't make it special anymore to me.
Yeah.
And especially when anymore, a lot of the covers just don't have that pretty glimmer to them. They're you know, I used to love Scorpion Comics when we first got going. They would always have something cool.
Well, they
got into some trouble over some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it just I can't remember the last time I saw an exclusive that was just so good. I was like, you know what? I would buy that. I mean, I used to, if I saw one, I would set an alarm. It's going on sale at this time. I'd set myself an alarm for 10 minutes beforehand so I could get online and start hitting that refresh button. I couldn't tell you the last one that I did, but it was actually probably that Scorpion Comics Lord Draken book that sold out in like 0.6 seconds. And that's been 2 years ago. I haven't seen any of these exclusive comics that have blown me away. And I don't know if people are buying them still because that's just what they collect because they like the exclusive books, or because they like them because it's the low print run, or if they're buying them for investment purposes or what. But a lot of them just haven't really blown me away lately, and I don't know if the game is coming to an end with the exclusive stuff, or if the
I think it's kind of just like
mess just put a bad stain on it, or what.
I think it's kind of like like everything, right? Everything's dropped in price. Nothing's selling. So, people, they're going to be more willing to spend $3.99 on a brand new comic that just came out to read it, much less so to spend $20, $25, $30 on an exclusive comic, especially with the way prices are right now. And I think that's kind of what it is, where people are having to pick and choose what they want to spend money on. Do I buy a cool cover because I like the way it looks? Do I want to read the book? Do I want to actually reallocate all of my funds away from comic books to just be able to provide gas and groceries?
Yeah.
Do I, want to start buying stuff like this because I'm finding more joy in it? Not more joy, but it's a brand. So I think it just has to do with the market as a whole, right? I think it's crashed down. Just as the same as everything else, which is, unfortunate for a lot of people.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, people that are still buying them, I mean, if that's what makes you happy, cool. Yeah. Now, I will say this. If you're buying an empty mother effing CGC slab and spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on it, collect your way, but that is a dumb shit move all day. There ain't no way. I've seen sales for $1,500 for an empty slab with an inner well in it that is empty with a label on it.
Yeah, dude. It is dumb.
And it's like, you know what? I get the deal with Bad Idea. Like they're just trying to they're just being stupid on purpose. Like, I'm not saying they're stupid. Like, they're just doing dumb, gimmicky shit, to get their name out there. That's fine.
But we're talking about it.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That's fine. What they want is happening. But how the hell CGC, like with all the bullshit CGC has gotten into lately, and they're still grading a nothing. There's nothing that people were saying that it was stupid, and you know what? I wouldn't have paid the money for it, but if there whatever, people were talking about that little small cutout of the Action 1 that was graded by CGC. Oh, I can't believe they graded that. That's just stupid. Well, some bitches are putting out slabs that ain't got shit in them. All it is a label, and people are buying that. At least the other thing had some kind of like comic history in it. Like this is not a comic book. There's nothing in it. And I'm seeing people like bragging that they got one. I'm like, why?
Same thing with previews. I don't read the previews.
Yeah, I've never understood the previews either. Like I made a meme that actually kind of went viral and people started stealing it. But of the Batman slap thing. And Robin had the Miles Morales previews and said, I got the first appearance of him, Batman doing the slap. And he's like, previews don't count, But at least the preview is a damn book, though. I'm talking about if you want $1,500, if you want to send me $50, you know what? I'll sell you an empty slab with a legit CGC label in it. And I'll even put you an inner well in there. I'll charge you $100 for it.
Yeah.
If you gotta have it, like, yeah, I'll charge you $100. I got empty slabs and labels sitting in here just stacked up. I don't people. I don't know. Those people must not work as hard for their money as I do, because I'll be damned if I could waste my money on some dumb shit like that. And I know we try not to shit on the way other people collect, but to me, it's not a comic book. Like I don't see how that counts. It doesn't count in my book. It doesn't count. That's just crazy. It drives me nuts, man. And you have so many people that are like hyping it up. I know the first time that Bad Idea put those out, you had picture of all the big highfalutin YouTuber guys sitting at a dinner table, and they had one, and they're like, "Oh man, this is the greatest thing," and I'm like, "Why would you like? You have naive, new people that don't know a damn thing." That pay attention and take your word as gospel, and you are sitting here letting these people think that this shit right here is worse. Like, shame on y'all, man. Shame on y'all. But yeah, anybody that's spending that money on that kind of stuff, I mean, I didn't know that they'd made another one, and it may not be another one. It may have just been people reselling them at the shows, and but I'm just like I can't. It doesn't click in my brain. I can't make my brain work that way to understand why you would do something like that,
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone who collects Power Rangers and Mortal Kombat and Pokemon comics. Now, I've got all the big stuff too, but I collect some stuff that a lot of people would think was stupid. But there's still comic books. There's something inside there. I can give you reason for why that each one of those is on my wall or in my collection. Tell me why the hell you have an empty slab with a damn label on it. The Invisible Edition. My ass.
Dude. And now they're doing a Kickstarter. Bad Idea is the most brilliant. I mean, they're brilliant.
They were putting out signs, picket signs saying "Stop Bad Idea." I was like, "What the hell is this?"
All their email marketing goes all. Dude, I'm telling you,
I thought I thought somebody was trying to start a movement against them. I'm like, no, their asses are doing it to themselves. Like, I don't understand it, other than the fact that it's just to make people talk about it.
So there's a Bad Idea, and then there's a subgroup called Stop Bad Idea, but they're all owned by the same people. So what they did was, if you signed up for, like, they had 200 signs made, said "Stop Bad Idea." If you signed up and walked around the convention for an hour with the sign and took pictures of yourself and hashtagged it a certain way, they were going to give you an exclusive book that this was the only way to do it. And then if you had already pledged to that Kickstarter that they're doing now, and you showed them proof that you had pledged to the Kickstarter and you had held that sign, there was another book they were throwing in. And it's the only way to get them.
Was any of their books any? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think I saw them tweet or post, or I got an email that they had gone through all 200 signs by Friday afternoon.
Jeez.
Later, Kyle. Take it easy, bud.
Take it easy, Kyle.
I never read any of their stuff. Has anybody read any of it? Was it any good?
I have like every Bad Idea book, but I have not read it.
Same here. Actually, I think I sold one or two.
And that ENIAC #1, I looked it up. I looked at it not too long ago. People were paying stupid money for that book in a 9.8 when it first came out. Bro, that book ain't shit now. You can get that book cheap as hell in a 9.8 all day long. I think you can get it cheaper in a 9.8 now than you could get the raw book for when it first came out. And I'm like, how can you not see that and say, you know what? Maybe this empty slab thing is pretty stupid. Maybe I shouldn't invest my money in that. Maybe I should take my $1,500 and go buy anything else. I mean, for $1,500, I'll give you 150 books. I give you 1,500 books that would be a better, if you're just purely looking for investment. I'll give you 1,500 books that would be guaranteed. This is going to work for you. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, man. And like I said, the fact that CGC is putting that out is an absolute disgrace. Everybody wants to talk about the goddamn acetate book, but we just gonna let them slide on an empty case with a label? Come on, man. And then if you look at the labels, guys, they're like a 7.5, an 8.0. Like, they ain't even 9.8s. They're literally making a mockery and literally just making fun of you, and you don't even realize it. I don't know. Okay, so Mars says some of the bad idea books were good. Okay, well, cool. Yeah, I mean, that was my thing. I was like, people and throwing all this money at this company. Like, I haven't heard anybody talk about the books though. Are the books any good? Is the artwork any good?
It's because it's the same conversation we had last week. Do people actually care about books?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good to know that there are some people out there reading them, and that, they're putting out, it sounds like putting out some of them are pretty good. I had that Tales of Whalesville book, and I thought it was going to be like kind of like Moby Dick type deal, which, I love pirate stuff. I love the whole Moby Dick deal. Pause. But I opened the book up and I was like, this isn't for me. This is not what I thought. And I read a few pages and I was like, I'm not feeling it. So, but I guess at least if they're putting the effort out there to make good comic books and not just literally existing to make a mockery of everything, because that's how I feel sometimes, is they're just making a mockery of all of it, and I'm just like, I don't know, but at least they're doing that. So a good question to ask yourself if you're spending wild money is, will people be talking about this and be relevant a decade or two from now? Yeah. Will there be nostalgia? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody in the that's a good point. Anybody in the chat think that in 10 years from now, people will give a shit about an empty slab that has a label in it and that's it?
Well, it's like, Bad Ideas putting out these books, Whatnot's now publishing books. Nobody is going to care about those books. There's not going to, and like, if you like it now, like, no big deal. That's not a big deal. But if you're going to spend a bunch of money on it for investment or whatever, hell, if DC can't maintain investment or spec, what makes you honestly think that Whatnot or Bad Idea or one of these others will? If you read it for the good story or whatever, that's fine. But like, the people that were out spending $100, $200, $300 on some of these, it's nuts.
And it's a 1 in a million shot that any of them actually turn into anything.
Yeah.
And actually hold. I mean, look at Walking Dead. Walking Dead was huge, had a huge following, TV show, everything, completely took over pop culture. Those books ain't worth a damn now. The number one's barely holding, but the rest of them, they're not holding value at all. So,
that question for you guys, Justin, your opinion too. After next week or whenever it is, what is it, the 21st, the Black Adam comes out, will that reignite the DC spec game if it's as good or even half as good as people think, or as he's making it out to be?
Okay, so I guess I'm going to throw a counter at you. When did the James Gunn Suicide Squad come out? When did that movie come out?
I don't know. It wasn't that great though.
I think it was year before last.
Yeah.
I thought everybody loved the King Shark Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but it's not like, it's still not even close to the same level as like Iron Man, Captain America movies.
Well, that's not what I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah.
So that book came out last year.
Yep.
Yeah. And everybody loves Shazam as well, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Did either of those reignite the DC spec game?
No, but I guess my point is, what I'm saying is kind of like what I just mentioned a second ago. What if Black Adam is at the level of Iron Man or Captain America in terms of just quality of movie, creating this hype and excitement around DC? Because Shazam didn't do that. It was a good movie. It was fine, but it wasn't like...
I think if Henry Cavill shows up, I think that will create enough excitement.
Yeah.
But I think if you're looking at outside of people like us, nobody is going to know who the Justice Society is.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Justice Society. I've never seen them on screen. I've not read a bunch of their stuff, but I'm aware of who they are. They look great on the screen. That's one thing DC has done really well with this, is they look very accurate. They look, the costumes are beautiful. But I don't think that people are going into this knowing who they are. Like, I think even Iron Man, like most people knew who Iron Man was, even though Iron Man at that point wasn't, one of the forefront characters. But I don't know.
This is a good point too.
I would like to think that people would care enough. Yeah, for sure.
That's a good point.
I've talked multiple times about, probably 75% of my collection is based off nostalgia from when I was a kid.
Go ahead, Justin.
I think the point I'm trying to make is we can all agree that last summer was the absolute hype of the comic collecting market, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
have you ever seen it that big in your entire life that you've been collecting?
Say that again.
Have you ever seen comics at that level in your lifetime?
I
was curious about that.
I'm the wrong person to ask about that because before I started hanging out with you guys, I didn't really pay attention much to this side of it. Right. Okay. All I would do is I would buy my weekly books and then I would buy X-Men books when I would come across them. So I didn't pay attention to the market.
So what he did was buy books, never read them, and then focused on his X-Men collection.
No. So back then, I was reading them. It's when I started making them that I kind of stopped reading.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
All right. Let's get back to the point of the conversation here.
So the point I'm trying to make is that with last summer being the absolute hype of the comic book market, was there any sort of reigniting of the DC's? I guess the point I'm trying to make is if last year was the highest it's ever been.
Everything but DC seemed to really be. I mean, I can't think of any
counterpoint.
Wait. Let me finish. So, if last year was the highest it's ever been, what makes you think that this is going to make it?
2 points to that to make it kind of reignite.
Mm-hmm.
So, DC specifically, not including Marvel. I think we're seeing a downturn in Marvel. Because people are either not happy with MCU, things like that, on top of everything else. But there's just so much, there's so many spec opportunities, and it's all failed spec or whatever. But I think with DC, there's some major opportunities here because even though we may have been at the hype of comic book collecting last summer, we were also at the lowest point of the DCEU or DC movies as a whole, right? I think they're
DC's
literally
very untapped at this point.
Yes, and it's very untapped. It was at the absolute lowest last year. Especially here lately with all the Flash negativity. The big thing that happened was the Justice League Snyder cut that was great for a second and then no big deal. Henry Cavill was out, your next biggest actor, Jason Momoa, and then Amber Heard's whole situation destroyed that, killed the excitement for Aquaman. Then you have your Flash actor who's out grooming young girls. That's a terrible thing. You have all of these craziness happening with the DC that I think dropped it to the lowest point. Now, what if Black Adam comes in, The Rock comes in, and he creates the same level of excitement that Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth and those guys and ignite this massive, oh my God, DC can be on the same level as the MCU. And books are so low price-wise that now, and there's so many opportunities that have been untapped, like Dustin said, what if that reignites it? People see, oh my God, this is an opportunity. We're excited again. So even though we're at the highest of a comic book collecting, DC was at its lowest point, I think, in terms of the movies. And we know the movies and TV shows drive hype, like nothing else.
Okay, so I'm going to do a counterpoint to that.
I love it. This is what the Babylon's about.
Okay, so my counter argument to that is that you're sort of assuming that everybody's going in with no sort of superhero fatigue and forgetting DC's track history.
Yeah.
So I think those are things that should be considered in this
100%. As well. 100%.
That was why I said, I don't know. It's been a little while ago. We were talking about DC. As bad as it would suck for them, I kind of thought maybe DC should just shut her down with the movies for like 5 years or so. Like don't even get rumors started. Just shut her down, man, and give people a break. And focus on what is going to work, figure it out, then come back and start over and bring the mother effing heat.
Yeah,
because there's too much in DC. There's too much there that can be done. You just got to get the right people in place, and they just haven't had the right people in place. Apparently, I mean, I've liked a lot of the stuff DC's done, but
man, the actor lineup, freaking Gal Gadot.
I mean, they've got the right actors in place. They don't have the right people to tell the story. Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, dude. I mean, I say honestly, Jason and Justin, what do you got?
The best. There's nobody else that's going to play Superman better than the guy that they just kicked out.
You know, I mean, honestly, all the way, like, I know ever since Flash was cast, I was never a big fan of him playing the Flash. And then other than that, like everybody else that was in Justice League, I felt like we're so perfect. Dude, everybody's hating on The Rock. I get it.
He says, I bet my entire comic book collection, Black Adam ends up in a jungle. But I mean, he's right. And that's what I was going to say.
One of those brown, like fishing explorer shirts. It was funny because somebody posted a meme not too long ago of him. It was like the Rundown, Jungle Cruise, Journey to the Center of the Earth. It was all the same pose. In the
I mean, the Rundown. I mean, to me, you know, I loved, what was that movie he did? Oh my gosh, it was one of his earlier ones where he carried the 2x4 around. He was the cop.
Oh, Walking Tall.
Walking Tall. That was probably one of my favorite ones. But
peak Rock.
But the thing is like he was still Rock. He wasn't Dwayne Johnson in there. He's throwing rock bottoms on guys in the middle. Like, but I mean, Rob's right. I mean, you know, everybody loves The Rock because he's The Rock, man. Like, you can't hate the guy. He's a wonderful human being. You can't not like the guy. But every time you watch one of his movies, you feel like you've already seen this one before.
Yeah.
And not to say that that it's, you know, I'm probably still gonna watch it, but he's yet to bring out a side of himself that says, well, holy shit, this is different. We've not seen this part, you know, this acting out of him before. You know, he hasn't. I feel like he's the highest paid movie star on the planet. I still don't feel like he's had that like super breakout role where he just acted his ass off.
No, but
I feel like he's still the $1,000 shirt wearing, eyebrow raising, you know, trailblazing, elbow dropping. You know, he's The Rock, and he tried to drop the Rock name to try to be Dwayne Johnson, but he is The Rock, and that's it. So, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I don't know. Maybe in this we'll get a little bit different. Maybe it'll be a little different. So I know I'm going to go see it. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. I think the Justice Society looks great.
That was the other one, Jumanji. So it's like Walking Tall, Jumanji, Journey to the Center of the Earth. I want to say the movie he did, it wasn't King Kong, but it was like his version of it.
Yeah.
Rampage.
Oh, well, Rampage was actually a video game.
No, I know.
Really popular in the 90s. Now that movie was cool. Hagen loves Rampage.
He hasn't done a bad movie. It's just the same movie, the same character.
A different movie yet, you know? Yeah, like Rob said, at least Adam Sandler will admit he just wants to get drunk and hang out with his friends in great vacation places. Like, yeah. But hey, every now and then he still puts out a good one. I know that the basketball movie he did recently was really good. I liked it.
Yeah.
But Adam Sandler's also
he was like a
walk up and down New York in New York City with a jar of pickles.
Mint Jim.
Uncut Gems is a different one.
Yeah.
Wait, so what are we talking about? Basketball movie?
It just came out.
It's on Netflix. He's basically a sports agent. So he's Ballers. I think that's it. Yeah.
Hey,
he's working on getting this guy a contract to play in the NBA. He's from another country.
Speaking of Ballers, The Rock did a really good job on his show called The Ballers, The Scorpion King. You know what?
I've got that comic book.
Brendan Fraser has been so beat down the last few years and stuff like that. He finally has a great role. The Rock recognizes him and threw out a big thank you. Well,
everybody,
but The Rock specifically, because Brendan Fraser is one of the ones that pushed for The Rock to be in that role and helped him out. And I'm like, dude, if he gave you that kind of break and helped you, why have you as the freaking Rock now not extended that courtesy? And maybe he has privately, but it's like Brendan Fraser can act his tail off.
Maybe he has, and he just hasn't accepted.
He gives hope to everyone. We're talking about a guy that came from Tarzan, like looked better than 99% of the humans on Earth.
That was my favorite movie as a kid. I loved George of the Jungle.
Yes, do not use George of the Jungle. They are different.
I almost said Jungle to Jungle with Tim Allen because I love that one too. But
I tried to rewatch it not too long ago, and it kind of freaks me out to see a grown man looking like that and like just around. It's like weird.
And he's sitting there, and they get him back to the apartment, and all the women are like, "Oh."
As a kid, you don't pick up on those things because you don't know any better. As an adult, you're like, you freaking women. You need to put your zip it up and put it back in your pants, okay? But now he looks like that, and I don't know why it gives me hope, but it's like maybe I can reverse that and go from looking like this to like that.
Well, let's get on to the next. Let's get on to the next things.
What's the next thing?
Werewolf by Night.
All right, this sounds like a great time for me to go to sleep.
Well, Justin, people enjoy having you.
We are more than happy that you came back for tonight, man. Love the special guest appearance. I'm glad that you were able to fire off answers to the questions that I prepared for you in order to be able to get on.
Not gonna lie, some of those were a bit weird, and I felt kind of odd having to be a part of that conversation.
Hey, I told him he was going to have to think long and hard about that last one.
Yeah, I knew it was a sex joke.
And you'll notice the way I responded to that.
Yeah, I did. I was like,
But anywho's, Justin, you're gonna have to seriously come back down so we can play some retro pie video games. Oh, have you seen the Super Mario Bros. Trailer?
Oh, it looks great, man.
I did see it.
Okay, I need your thoughts on that.
Still a little weirded out. So how come her Zeus can have an Italian accent but not Mario? That's weird to me. I love Chris Pratt, but come on. Zeus sounded more like Mario in Love and Thunder than Mario does.
Okay, so I just got one question for you guys, and I'm going to go. Why does Mario sound like Emmett from the Lego Movie?
Never seen the Lego Movie.
Oh, man. I don't care, dude. I'm so pumped. I have no negative things to say. It looks amazing. They kept it.
It does. I'm excited about it.
Is that Idris Elba as Bowser?
No, it's Jack Black, I think.
No. Hold on.
So. A long ass fucking time ago in a town called Kickapoo,
there lived a humble family, religious through and through. But yeah, there was a black sheep, and he knew just what to do. He wrote a tasty jam, and all the planets did align. I could keep going the whole time. 'Twas I who the dragon, the lion.
All right, so yeah, I'm seeing people say Jack Black. Yes.
Dude, I thought that was Idris Elba. No, tell me. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up, and I just want you guys to picture in your head. I typed in Mario Jack Black.
I don't see Idris at all.
When I hear crazy
his voice, and me and Hagen watched that trailer like 3 times.
Dude, he sounds good as Bowser.
He sounds amazing.
Who?
Jack Black.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was saying I don't hear Idris Elba when I was listening.
All right, hold on.
Oh, here we go. They're gonna kick us out.
No,
I mean, the visual here for all of this is absolutely awesome, though.
Dude, so have you guys seen the thing floating around on Twitter where someone like turned the penguin scene into Mario 64 graphics?
No, but that's awesome. I need to watch some of that. All right, just picture in your head Idris Elba.
You have all the different versions of the Turtle Warriors. Yeah, not even a little bit, Nick.
That didn't sound like Idris Elba to you guys?
No.
So think of Knuckles from Sonic Hedgehog 2.
That's also another reason why he would not be here. He's in a competing franchise movie.
No, there's no English accent.
But it's that deep tone.
I hate Idris Elba, so.
Oh, I love his acting.
Open the gates.
Well, his acting is part of the reason why I hate him. You cannot be a fan of The Office and still like Idris Elba.
Oh,
He is
yeah.
such a dick. Hate his guts.
Justin, did you see my
because of his character from The Office? He was such a dick.
Did you see my Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man?
Oh man, I'm so glad that that you powered through and took that out of the box.
Dude, okay, let's have a real discussion about this. First off, the new Legends boxes suck butthole. They're all cardboard. The paper, like all of the thing, everything came in paper wrapped up. It was like I was unboxing some type of crappy secondhand shipped to me from an eBay seller thing. So all this was in a, I'm like, I get it, you know, plastics, but you know, bad, whatever. But dude, their boxes are garbage. Like all. It wasn't even like in the box cool or nothing. It was literally just thrown in a bunch of cardboard inside a plastic bag. Like he was.
What'd you do with the box?
I threw it away because it's boo boo.
What did you do with the box for your other Legends?
I keep them in case I want to display them in the box later or resell them.
You're not going to display them in the box. You are an out of box collector like the rest of us, like a normal person. So who gives a shit what the box looks like, Nick?
I have 2 more coming, by the way.
You throw it away, or it sits in your closet.
So I'm going to set up the meme of them pointing at each other. No, I'm just kidding. I forgot I pre-ordered so many. I kept forgetting that I had already pre-ordered one at Target, and then I somehow managed to, at some point, pre-order 2 at Big Bad Toy Store. But the Target one came, and the Big Bad Toy Store is nowhere to be seen.
Ooh, Nick is specking on toys.
I'm not specking. I just didn't want to miss it. I also ordered the Japanese version too.
Yeah, I think mine's at the house waiting for me when I get there.
The Japanese one?
Yeah.
Whoa. Hold on now.
I'm pretty sure. I think I ordered directly from Hasbro.
Oh, so why does Big Bad Toy Store take forever?
They just always get their stuff last.
Well, I hate it, and I hope they get that shit fixed. I'm pissed.
So I'm sorry, Nick, that the $25 piece of plastic toy that you bought does not provide the same opening experience as an iPhone.
Look, the iPhone's crappy too now. They got rid of all their plastic. It wasn't that hard to keep the nice window with the beautiful design and not make you feel like.
We haven't even talked about the best thing that was the best thing to come out of New York Comic Con.
What?
The mother effing Fulgore statue. Holy Santa Claus shit.
Share your screen and show it.
Fulgore, dude, from Killer Instinct.
My preferred shipping address is Justin's address. Do y'all want to see it on Big Black Toy Store? Ready? I have 5 pre-orders. Let's see what they are. Amazing Fantasy Marvel Legends.
So much.
Fantasy Marvel Legends.
That we are going to get the entire line of Killer Instinct. Oh my God. This is legit going to be my very first statue purchase.
Dude, there's no way that your toy animation TV series is already shown up. I'm pissed. Mine doesn't say it's showing up until first quarter of 2023.
Hold on. Let me look.
But I do have the 112 Spider-Man and 112 Green Goblin pre-ordered, so that's cool. That's going to be a chunk of change.
All right, I'm about to share this, and then you can get out of here, Justin. Justin, have you never played Killer Instinct?
No.
Well, when you come down and we do our retro stuff, you're going to have to play it with us. Well, I'll have popcorn and tacos.
Yeah.
You don't think your wife would allow you to come down for a cool weekend like that?
That is so awesome. He's got the lasers coming out of his eyes. Oh my God, it's so freaking cool, man. Oh, I'm so pumped about this. Cannot wait. I can only imagine what Thunder, Saberwolf, Spinal, Jago, oh my gosh, Glacius coming up out of the ground with the uppercut out of a puddle. Oh my gosh. 6 to freaking midnight in a heartbeat on this, dude. I was talking to Jeff about it. As soon as I saw the picture, I sent Jeff and Britt pictures. We're going to have 3 of them being shipped at the same time to the same place because we're all getting it. There's going to be 3 big-ass Sideshow statue boxes show up at the shop one day. I hope so much that they do a whole line of these. But this is going to be my first statue purchase for sure. There's no way I'm missing out on it. I got to figure out how to create a profile with them so I can get on the list of people they remind, hey, it's available or whatever it's called. But all right, let's talk about a little bit of MCU stuff, and then we'll get into the budget buy-in tips and tricks.
And we're already 2 hours into this.
I know.
We may be able to save the tips and tricks for next week.
Maybe we do that. I don't know.
Because we are.
I was honestly worried that we would be struggling for conversation tonight.
Justin saved the day. Justin, right. Before you go, is there anything else that's happened that you want to talk about? We haven't talked about since you're not allowed to always be hanging out with us now.
Oh yeah, so a pretty big book got announced on Wednesday.
Uh-oh.
Is it exclusive?
I'm exclusively telling you now.
Oh,
hold on before you announce it. Ready?
God damn it.
By the way, it looks like your poop vein is constantly out tonight.
I know, like he's got those veins popping out in his forehead all day.
Yeah, it's usually why I'm wearing a hat or like my hair is long, right? You can't see.
It's so weird seeing you looking more clean cut and not super grayed out and long hair.
No, it's still.
Yeah, but it's not grown out, so it's hard to tell.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said. Yeah, I mean it's there in the beard. You can't really tell in the light. Anyway, so if you're a fan of Road of Bones or CSROs, the next series got announced on Wednesday. Breath of Shadows.
Nice. When is it coming out?
Issue 1 comes out in February.
Nice. I was about to say, can you please show everybody your birthday gift I sent you? But you're not there.
No, I travel with it.
I did buy you more birthday gifts at the Comic-Con. Did you see?
Oh my gosh. No, don't show him yet. Don't show him.
You sure?
Don't show him. No, these are going to be, he has to open them live on camera with us. Okay.
All I'll tell you is one is about that big. And another one's about that big.
Pretty cool. And you can wear one of them.
And another one you can put on.
I'm sure by God will.
Is this like the last time we were together on my birthday and I had to wear a sash for a while?
No, but that was fun. And you had a great birthday, right?
Oh, man. Lexington in September is a very enjoyable time.
I'm so pumped that you have a full-size Ted Lasso. I almost ordered one for myself, if I'm honest, for that corner.
Dude,
but
no lie, I'm planning on getting a Santa Claus hat for it for Christmas time.
I'm so excited that you own one.
It's gonna
Did you really think it was Jar Jar at first?
Yes.
So is that why you didn't even give me the opportunity to watch you opening it? I was so upset.
Yeah, I thought it was Jar Jar. That's why I was just like, I'm not gonna open this. It's like,
I was so pissed. I was like, this mother effer wouldn't even give me the time of day to just at least watch him open it and see his face when it's all of a sudden, boom, bitch, it's barbecue sauce, mother effer. I love that show.
It has scared me a couple times, and I know it scared the crap out of Liz one time.
Liz is his wife. And guys, I bought him a 6 foot, because you're 6'2", right?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay, so it's like either right at or right below. I forget in the picture, but it's sizable.
Yeah.
And dude, I love it so much. It was the best $60 I've ever spent.
So the worst part is like you forget it's there, and then you just see it out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And you like turn.
Justin's like, I just see Justin throwing up his karate chop hands from like.
I think my scorpion stand up when I first bought it. I hadn't found a good spot to put it, and it was just sitting in the middle of the room. And I walked in here, and it was dark, and I was using my cell phone for lighting because the light went out. And I almost beat the shit out of that thing. Almost beat the shit out of that cardboard.
I swear to God, I just picture Justin going, and it's just like a reaction from like his 12-year-old karate class or taekwondo or something. Good thing. Good time.
Man, I don't think Gwen has seen it yet. So if she were to like run downstairs, I think that would.
Maybe you should just like introduce her to your friend. Be like, Gwen, I'd like to introduce you to Daddy's friend. He's he's a very good friend of mine. But he's made of cardboard. She may definitely tell her friends at school or teachers some weird stuff. Well, she's homeschooled, so she's fine right now.
Right.
There's this weird man in my daddy's basement. He never comes out.
Well, it's like
lives there.
Oh, it's like we show up at Ellie's apple orchard field trip. She jumps out of the car, sees one of her friends and their mom and dad, and the first word out of her mouth was, "My daddy calls me a poop head." To this other family, and I'm like, Ellie.
So I want to tell one Gwen story, and then I'm going to go.
Go ahead. Okay. What's up, Bubs?
Do you promise?
Yes. So we're at that stage of potty training where Gwen will just like rip her pants and her pull-up off and then run to the bathroom. Okay, so we're like, she did it one time and we're like, haha, that's funny. And then she did it like a second time and we're like, wait a minute, you're not doing that at school, right? And she's like, oh no. I'm like, we haven't gotten a phone call yet, so we're assuming she's telling us the truth.
That is hilarious.
That's what my kid does. No matter if it's after school, whatever. As soon as we get home, everything comes off. He's running around the house in boxers all day. Will not wear clothes. And I'm like, dude, you're almost 7 now. You have to keep some clothes on. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just
kids are the best.
She got to go. Boom, she's gone. And then I was her. Sorry, I only said one Gwen story, so I'll stop.
We haven't got to chat in a while, guys.
Kate and Gwen were taking a bath, and I think Liz had to go check on something. So I was sitting on the bathroom floor while they were in the bathtub, and Kate splashes water everywhere. So I must have sat in a puddle of water. So they get out of the bathtub. We go to dress them, and I go, my butt's wet. And Gwen just yells, "Daddy, are you wearing a diaper?"
I love it so much.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Not too far away. Oh man. All right, Justin. Well,
are you driving home or are you flying?
I'm driving. It's only like 6.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a long drive home.
If I get on the road by like 7, that'll put me home by like, I don't know.
You're not getting on the road by 7.
We need this Justin Birch back.
Oh man, Liz hated that hair.
Well, she's crazy.
Oh,
that is your main. That is your main, and you need it back.
Or maybe we could have this Justin Birch back.
Hold on. Let me. There's one picture.
I definitely don't like the beardless and hairless Justin Birch. He looks creepy.
Oh, look, here's the first interaction between us, by the way.
Look how much younger he looks there.
Okay, so full disclosure, he sent me this weird picture of him playing Break the Ice. And now I get the joke. Before I didn't, but I'm like, okay, this dude looks like it's kind of weird for him to send this photo of him breaking the ice. And I'm like, I just need a headshot. And then you show up and you don't look anything like this dude in this photo. I was like, okay. How old were you there breaking the ice?
I don't know. Probably my, I don't know, 33, 34.
So at least 10 years ago.
Yeah,
how old are you?
Just the Birch we need.
How old am I now?
39?
Yeah. I'm 39.
Oh, next year's your big 40?
Yeah.
Oh, we're flying out, going to see some strippers. It's getting weird. Tell Liz be prepared.
Where is that picture?
Why don't we just go to his house and do like we can just like call in-house. Call him in-house.
Yeah. No, we don't want to we don't want to, disgrace. Yeah, go ahead and prep Liz that it's getting weird next year for your 40th.
Well, and tell her that she doesn't have to be involved.
That seems terrible.
Tell her we'll make sure that they're all Chippendales. That way she can enjoy the fun too.
She'll enjoy it more if she doesn't have to partake in the chaos or. Oh man, I got one picture that really sort of Shows off the craziness of the hair.
Dustin, we have like 10 months to plan his 40th birthday party now. It's got to be weird.
Maybe we can have it at BubsCon. Oh, wait. That's not till 2024 now. He pushed it.
Oh.
I'm still waiting for BubsCon. He keeps threatening that it's actually going to happen.
Okay, there's Kate being born.
Bub is a suitcase man. A silver suitcase man.
I'm just glad that No Faces chat's back. I got to be on the inaugural return episode. That was fun.
Where's his picture at?
Now it's gonna bug him. Hey, show off your shirt.
Listening to it.
Show off your lettering shirt. That's a good way to meet people. Hello, my name is Justin Birch.
Yeah, stop talking to me.
Hey, that's my thing.
Were you recognized at all for being on the Two Brothers Comics, or just strictly your work?
Just strictly my work.
Dang. Okay.
He's actually been on Mark's show lately more than he has ours, so
it's true. I just sit there and work.
Well,
I know. Every time I browse past it, I'll look on there and I'm like, okay, nobody's talking. Justin's working. Okay.
Well, it cracks me up because he'll just drop.
Rob's talking about anybody that doesn't drink black coffee is an idiot. It's pretty much a normal thing.
Who drinks black coffee?
Rob, the Fat Stacks guy.
Oh, I love black coffee.
Yeah. He's all the time talking about coffee on there, so he's a good guy. I like Rob.
Me and him should have a show together. We could talk about our great mustaches and our love for coffee.
Oh my god!
I think you're
also right. He also does like smoked meat competitions, so you have that in common too. Not that
I've seen him either show pictures,
competitions, but you have smoked meat.
I do have smoked meat. I smoked some hamburgers this afternoon. That's why I had to take a shower, because I was doing that and it was the smell all over me. And then we had a bonfire going in the back.
Oh, I was just like, how did you make that big of a mess eating a hamburger?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Hey, speaking of headshots, did they choose, or did you use any of those shots I sent you?
No, unfortunately, I needed to send it to them before you sent those. But
sorry.
I'm grateful that you sent them.
Well, see if they'll replace it later. Just that's a good shot of you, I won't lie.
Okay, this was the longest it was. This is the one you guys liked the most.
Yeah, I have that somewhere. Actually, that's your contact picture on my cell phone. I can't show it because I think it'll show your cell phone number. Actually, well, you might be able to make it out a little bit.
I mean, can't you just click on it?
No, because it'll pop up your number.
That definitely said the fourth is the baby maker.
Yeah, that's his new headshot for all of his work.
Didn't you have that one set up to be on our screen? It's not there anymore.
I think that might have been StreamYard whenever I had that.
No, it was on here.
Was it? Oh, by the way, guys. That's so nostalgic.
Been a long time.
That makes me feel good. Makes me happy.
He said you look like Alan Moore.
Kinda, yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into this Werewolf by Night.
We'll let you go. Hey, you have a wonderful drive home.
Yep. Let us know when you get home and that you're still alive and not dead on the side of the road.
And tell Liz that things are getting weird for your 40th.
Well, it's a Pennsylvania Turnpike, so anything's possible.
Okay. Well,
I don't know what that means, but
I hope the main possibility is that you end up home safe.
Me too.
We should have like a hangover type thing for him where he gets lost with a mattress.
That almost happened at Lexington last time. Well, at least you thought so anyway. It was all planned out to make you freak out, and it worked.
Oh, yeah. When I just walked around the block.
I was like, just walk around the block, dude. He'll freak out.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that.
Me and Greg are just sitting there dying. Me and Greg and his wife are just laughing our asses off at Nick freaking out because we lost Justin. You guys just let him walk off? Like, I don't know. He's a grown man.
He was drunk, dude.
He's older than me.
My favorite part is when I went, like, I cut through the parking lot and came out, like, around the back, and I just hear like Nick, like, he's got kids.
He does have kids, man. I'm thinking, what happens? What if he gets stabbed out here in this college town, and now we're gonna have to explain to Gwen we let him walk around drunk by himself, or not Gwen, Liz. Sorry.
I've walked around places drunker and scarier than Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah, but I wasn't there.
Oh, that's fair.
No, I don't feel ownership of the mistake.
Dude, if I can get on a train in New York City at 1:00 in the morning, pretty buzzed, like pretty drunk, and make it back to my hotel,
no,
we're okay.
That scares me. Just thinking about that whole nope. I already don't. I wouldn't even like to get on that sober, much less buzzed or close to drunk.
The biggest issue was, man, I gotta pee.
Well, up in New York, you could just do it on the side of the road. Nobody's going to arrest you.
I guess you could, but I don't.
You definitely need to be missing a tooth, though, for your 40th. We're going to have to find a way to pull that. No. One of the good ones.
Oh.
I was going to say, remember, Nick, he is in West Virginia.
Yeah, I am missing a tooth.
Was that
qualify?
Was that because of the Mountain Dew or not?
I'm sorry, because of what?
The Mountain Dew or not? There's like that weird Mountain Dew family up in West Virginia that have no teeth.
No, it was literally because of years of neglect. Or Mountain Dew. You can pick either one.
Well.
But, hey, don't wait 10 years to see a dentist. That's the point I'm trying to make.
And it's a good call.
All right, I need to pack.
Probably take a nap too. All right, guys. Justin, see you tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Talk to you tomorrow, maybe.
Later, man.
Bye-bye. It was fun, but was it real fun? All right.
See, did you watch Werewolf by Night?
No, I did not. I didn't even know it was out yet.
Well, I told you earlier today.
No, you asked the question, and then you said, we'll talk about these other things.
But I put Werewolf by Night in those other things.
Oh, yeah. But that's fine. Like, I just assumed you would give it. You can talk about it all you want to talk about. Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
So kind of give the premise of it, even with some spoilers. I think it's probably fine.
So basically, Elsa Bloodstone's dad died, so now they have to find someone else that's going to carry the Bloodstone. So they're going to have a monster hunting competition, basically. And whoever kills the monster and gets the Bloodstone is going to be the new holder of the Bloodstone. And all the other monster hunters are pissed off because Elsa had pretty much denounced her family for years, and they've been there putting in the time and effort, and she just gets a free ride to come in and join. So
sexist pigs.
I thought it was a cool show. I do think the name is very misleading
because it's not Werewolf by Night. It's more about Elsa Bloodstone.
Yeah, they should have just called it Bloodstone because you get maybe 5 total minutes of Werewolf by Night in the whole thing. Like, that's it.
See, and they do that stuff. That's like Disney's MO at this point, this weird bait and switch, where we have something we think people are going to like the title of and be willing to watch more, but we're not really going to tell a story about that. They did it with Kenobi.
Was like, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, it was like, hey, we're going to do a little bit of Kenobi, but it's really going to be more about Reva and Leia, which is, fine, whatever. Like, they should have just done an entire story dedicated to Reva. They probably would have done her more justice, and just focused strictly on Kenobi. But it sounds like that's what they did, right? Where it's like Werewolf by Night, because that's the title.
I mean, like, the what is his name? What do they call him? Oh my gosh, it's a dog name, and I can't think of the dude's name. Jack Russell, is that his name? That becomes Werewolf by Night. I think that's what it was. So he's in it quite a bit, pretty much the whole time. Like, he's a main character, but they did not give us Werewolf by Night until about the last 10 minutes of the show, and it was literally. If it was 5 total minutes, then I would be surprised that it was that long. He did not have a presence in there.
Yeah.
And he didn't do much. He really didn't do much. I mean, he killed I guess it's Elsa's mother or stepmother, whatever, like the woman who was the villain. Like, he kills her and that's it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had no desire to really watch it. Wasn't excited about it, but I was working on some stuff last night, and I was like, well, I'll just put this on in the background. And then I found myself just stopping what I was doing and watching it. And I was like, well, this is pretty good. It's not bad. I wasn't bothered by the black and white like I thought I would be. And it wasn't as corny as I thought it would be. So that was cool. But, Man Thing, to me, I would have expected Man Thing to be, I don't know. I feel like they made him really, and I haven't read Man Thing comics, so he could, anybody in the chat who's read comics with Man Thing, I mean, the way they depicted him in the show, is that how he was in the comics? I expected him to be different, I guess. I don't know, more of a monster. He was more of like this dopey comic relief kind of deal. And I could see them going and spinning off with a Man Thing and Jack Russell, like buddy cop type show. But the show was the Elsa Bloodstone show, 100%. I think the name should have I think they should have just called it Bloodstone, call it what it was. And, you got everybody excited about this Werewolf by Night, and Werewolf by Night, like if you blinked, you missed him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was the only thing. I mean, it wasn't bad. I didn't think it was, I thought it was entertaining.
How long was it? An hour and a half?
It was about an hour. Yeah.
Okay. So like a TV movie.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah, Jack was there, but like Werewolf by Night, like was not. I mean, you got like 5 minutes of it. But I mean, it was enjoyable, much more so than probably 90% of anything I've seen in the past year or two. For sure. I thought it would have been, I just think that they should have called it Bloodstone or something to that effect, because it was all revolving around the Bloodstone, and the Bloodstone family type deal. So, it was cool though. It was cool.
And honestly though, like, we've talked about kind of like superhero fatigue and things like that. Like,
yeah, I think they did a good job of bringing something different.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is I think that's another reason why I just honestly didn't pay much attention to what is coming out. On top of this old school horror movie vibe, I've never been a big fan of that type. You know me, like, and I think most of you guys by now know that I'm not a big fan of that type of thing, if you will. But I think it definitely, after hearing kind of your take on it, will be something that I'll try to sit down and have Sky watch me and things like that. But like, I just,
and I'm the same way, and it's probably just a generational gap thing.
Yeah, maybe
because I talked to Jeff, and I even talked to Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles. I know he loves that old school, like Universal Monsters type films, and I've never gotten into any of that because it's just big generational gap there.
Yeah.
So that was a big reason why I had no intentions of watching it. But I was surprised that it was something that had me intrigued enough that I stopped what I was doing, and I sat and I rewinded it the 15 minutes and started it over, and I sat and consumed it and watched it. And I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. But I think if you were someone who is a huge Werewolf by Night fan and wanted to see a lot of that action going on, you might have found, you might have found yourself a little disappointed that, you didn't actually get to see the Werewolf by Night character a little more. But my favorite character, and even though I like I said, I wasn't sure how Man Thing is in the comics, but I thought Man Thing stole the show. For me, he was my favorite character. I thought Man Thing looked freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Man Thing, they did a phenomenal job on Man Thing. And I was curious as to how he would look. We got a little bit of a teaser, but I thought he looked wonderful. But I thought he was the coolest part of the show for sure. I thought he was.
What's up, Mike?
And you do get that one scene where Man Thing just obliterates the shit out of somebody, and you're just like, damn it, that was cool. but yeah, I mean, it was decent. It was good.
Yeah. So
it is, you youngins have shitty taste. No.
Look, I'm a very shallow person. I just like whatever makes me happy.
Yeah, for sure. I see, and I think that's another reason why I was able to say that I enjoyed that, is because I didn't have any attachment or investment as far as a love for any of those characters. Like, none of those characters are. I don't have a single book that has. Well, excuse me. I've got the Marvel Premiere 28, the first Legion of Monsters, but that's strictly a Ghost Rider love for me. But I had no investment in any of those characters as far as a fandom. So I just went into it like, okay, let's just check it out. I saw it as just a movie, not a, okay, we're going to watch this Ninja Turtles movie. They better not fuck it up because I'll be pissed.
Yeah. Also, and I think that's good, right? Because, that's been honestly a lot
of for sure, Rob. When they gave you that little bit of color at the end, freaking look beautiful.
So, and I think but like we were saying, like you were just able to enjoy it again as like, for what it was. And I guess like, for us, especially over the last year or two, being so involved in reading the comics, source material, things like that, kind of like what I said about the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings earlier, now for us, it's like, okay, we can't just enjoy it for that. And I guess you could if you wanted to, but it sucks whenever you love something so much to see it done, justice. And not all of the changes are bad. Some you understand why, but like you see stuff like Gore the God Butcher,
Yeah. I mean, as much as you enjoyed reading that series, and a lot of people see, and I think that's something that's missed on a lot of people. They saw you bitching about that and just said, "Oh, he's just complaining just to complain." Like, no, like my dude read the series, he enjoyed the series, he loved the character, he got excited about it, and then they laid a pile of shit in his lap.
Yeah, that was sucked. And Thor 3 as a whole sucked, but specifically that, it was bad. But like, it's good to be able to just go back and be able to enjoy stuff. And I think that's why maybe DC, I don't have as much like hate issues or like frustrations there, because it's like I've not read enough of it. But hell, most of that stuff's been around for literally 100 years at this point almost.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's good though that they are bringing out some stuff. But I am curious though. So, I guess, what do you want to do? Do you want to talk about the Daredevil thing and then kind of leave the last few topics for next week?
Yeah, we'll do that. So Rob's saying, like, how does Man Thing, Elsa, and Werewolf by Night fit in the next project? See, I don't know that I haven't heard anything about them moving forward on that. But I will say, like, we've got 3 of the 4 original Legion of Monsters that have already been on screen in the last year at this point now. So, I mean, that could be something going forward.
What's the 4th one, Frankenstein?
No, Ghost Rider. So, I mean, who knows? A lot of people have been specking on that, but I mean, who knows? Honestly, I would prefer personally, if they kept the MonsterVerse kind of as its own thing.
That would be interesting.
Like, because the same, like, how do you fit in an Elsa Bloodstone and a Man Thing and a Jack Russell Werewolf by Night? How do you fit that into like Secret Wars? And
it would have. I don't think you do it there.
This really far out.
Yeah. But it would have to be involved in the same categories like Moon Knight and Doctor Strange. But yeah, it would certainly almost like you need a movie verse, MCU, and then you need more of a TV special.
Right, because you can't really, like, how are you going to fit those characters in with like a Kang and a Doctor Doom type feel? Like it's not going to mesh well, I don't think, on screen.
And they're just not at the same level.
Right. Keep like you said, keep it separate. Like, like I was saying, have like some kind of like a monster verse, because you have such a following of people who love that niche part of Marvel Comics.
Yeah, like Midnight Suns, Blade, which I think they're going to probably drop Blade in the Avengers. He's going to be a part of that new team.
If they ever get their shit together with it, because it has been a whole
they just lost
mess with Blade, man. Like they something about, I think they got a new writer or a director, and now the actor's like pissed off, and we're not sure if he's going to actually be playing Blade. Like it's turned into a whole shit show.
It's gotten that bad, huh?
Yeah, it's gotten bad.
Dang.
But yeah, I just
Dude,
I think
Wakanda
it would be
Forever. We got the new trailer. We didn't talk about that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Shuri.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all knew it was coming. I think we all knew it was coming.
Well, there's also a theory that there's 2 Black Panthers.
Well,
the one we saw at the end of the first one is not the same as Shuri's.
See, I heard a take and an opinion of what could happen, and I was just like, "Oh shit! Like that's crazy." What if? And Fatal J put this out. What if they do have plans on recasting T'Challa? What if T'Challa is still alive? What if this movie is taking place? What if we're going back in time a little bit and this movie's taking place during the blip? And the whole funeral thing we saw happening, maybe it's just like a memorial or something because it's the blip happened. So for all they know, T'Challa is gone.
Mm.
And they do recast him, and we go forward from there. What if this takes place during the blip? And when Fatal J said that, I was like, oh shit, that would be smart.
That would be wild and smart. I think they would have already come out publicly and said we're recasting him. I think they already said they're not going to, right?
Oh, I know they've said they're not going to, but I'm just saying, like, that would. I don't know. I mean, they did a lot of reshooting and refilming, but I think that would be. I mean, even if they don't do it, like if somebody didn't think of that, like if the whole reason, if a big part of not recasting T'Challa was like, okay, well, how do we recast him and get him into this movie? Like, how do we do all this in time? Like, that's a great idea of how to make this happen.
They have to bring back a T'Challa. They've got to. He's too big of a character.
I would hope so. I mean, and with the multiverse ability, like there's so many ways you can do it. But there's
literally you could bring Michael B. Jordan as T'Challa from a different universe.
Yeah, there's way too much story to tell. I still can't believe they killed off Killmonger in the first one. Like, best character in the freaking movie. I mean, one of the best. I mean, to me, Michael B. Jordan casted as Killmonger. To me, that was just as good a casting as Robert Downey Jr. for Tony Stark.
Michael B. Jordan casted in anything.
Yeah, I mean, they could cast Michael B. Jordan as freaking Rogue or freaking the Ice Queen. Like, I don't care. Like, they could say Michael B. Jordan's going to be Cinderella in the new Avengers, and the shit is going to be awesome.
Yeah, like, dude, there's many people.
He does such a good job.
Yeah, there's many
role like that.
Yeah, there's many
that bad taste in your mouth, chip on your shoulder, bad attitude, and I don't trust anybody. I'm out to get mine. Like, he does such a good job with that. He had that same type of character and same attitude in Friday Night Lights when he was so much younger. You could see it in him. This guy is going to be huge, and that's why. I mean, I don't know how many times you and I have sat here looking at these cameras and said that, you know, this guy is one of our absolute favorite actors on the planet. The guy is he's lights out.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't understand why they would have killed him off in the first movie. I just thought that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, for sure.
Because now he's with DC. Like you're not getting Michael B. Jordan back. Like,
how's he with DC?
Because he's doing Static.
Oh, I heard a lot of that got canceled and canned. Maybe that was rumored.
I don't think Static has. As far I was reading something the other day that he's still pushing forward with it.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll see if it happens. I mean, I'm all for it, but I hope they go with the old school title, not this new fanfic version of it. But what I will tell you is with Michael B. Jordan, I'll complain about a bunch of castings and sit back here. But again, he's one of those guys where whatever they put him in, I have full faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, you know, there's been a lot of talk of doing a Calvin Ellis Superman.
Him as Superman, Kevin Hart as what's his name? Superman's Jimmy Olsen.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
yeah, I'm telling you.
I don't know that they have any chemistry together, but I mean, regardless, I think he would be a freaking phenomenal Superman.
Yeah,
phenomenal. I think he would be a phenomenal Superman. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought the trailer looked, you know, the first trailer looked good. This one looked good. Namor looks weird the way that they have him fly. I don't know, like the flying just looked off to me. Did it to you?
In what now?
When Namor was flying? Like
yeah, and I think it was partly because it was because he was using his feet, right?
So I know, but it just I don't know. It looked weird.
Yeah, but we didn't. Weird. Yeah, we didn't.
And I honestly, like, if they hadn't made the wings on his feet like work like that, then I would have been like, oh my God, you guys are killing me. So I was glad to see that. But then when I saw it, I was like, I don't know if it's just like the one clip or like maybe it'll look different on screen. I don't know. But it just, I don't know. The way he was moving, it was just like kind of weird looking. I don't know.
I'm still not a fan of them doing away with the Atlantis theme in lieu of this new thing. But
yeah, and the whole like, they don't want to have issues with DC and Aquaman. I'm like, well,
and I'm not saying this doesn't look good. They could have kept those same designs.
DC straight up is going to put Doctor Strange in one of their movies with Dr. Fate. Like it's the same character, bro.
Yeah,
like they're doing it.
and like I said, they could literally keep the same theme, the same inspirations. A very similar character design. Say, hey, but like it's Atlantis, man.
I will be okay with everything they're doing with Namor, as long as he is an asshole.
Yeah, he's got to be.
And I don't think it's going to be because Humberto, whatever, I think the guy's name is Humberto or something. He's already said like Namor's not going to be a bad guy. And I'm like, he doesn't have to be a bad guy, but he better be an asshole. He better be a straight up just a dick. Straight up a douchebag. If he doesn't come in there and carry himself with his chest poked out and his nose stuck up in the sky, knowing and thinking he is better than everybody else standing around him, then Namor has been a fail in the MCU. That will be, to me, that's the defining factor on whether or not they have failed or succeeded with Namor. He better bring the Namor attitude. It's got to be there.
See, this right here almost looks like a shot as if he should be like in the ocean. And they're like, no, we're going to have him flying instead.
Yeah, I think it's just the CGI or something that makes it look weird.
Yeah, because he should not be just.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Rob said, he should have some wobble or movement, something.
Yeah, it's like he's gliding.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
See, and again, this is like, I don't know.
I think those. I wish they would take the earring things out. I think his ears have way too much going on. Like having the pointed ear, like take the pointed ears away or get rid of the earrings. It's just too much going on in his ears.
That looks weird to me too.
That is the main part right here that I said looked weird.
That's just, I think, bad, like, what do you call it? CGI physics.
Yeah, because, like, what is he stepping at? Like, why would Namor be stepping? It's just weird right there.
He would just be flying.
Yeah. Like, why would he? Why is he? I mean, it looked like something was shooting at him, so he was, like, moving out of the way of the gun shooting at him, but.
And maybe there's something from, like, the movie or, like, a comic. But like any comic we've read with him in so far, and maybe it's a Golden Age thing. We don't know. I don't know.
He wants Johnny Storm to burn that goatee away.
I was disappointed.
I hope
to be Shuri though.
I'll be 100% honest. Like I'm looking forward to this, but now that they've announced Fantastic Four, that's the only thing that's where my eyes are right now, and they better not fuck up the Fantastic Four.
Dude, they're going to. I'm telling you, just like I told you.
I cannot have that thought in my head.
Just like I told you with Namor, that he was, maybe popular comic books, but nobody else in the world knows him.
They're going to do everything about him. I don't think. See, that's the thing though. Like anytime anybody says something about what they're doing with Namor, the comment that I always see is, "Well, nobody gave a shit about him in the comics. He sucked in the comics." I'm like, that is the comment of someone who's never read a comic book with Namor in it. Whether it is Silver Age, whether it is something modern, Namor is the shit in the comic books.
He's been the best part of Fantastic Four.
He's been my absolute, outside of the Thing, he's been my absolute favorite character.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
He's certainly been the best villain. So
far. Oh, for sure. For sure. The best counterpart to the FF, for sure.
Basically, because he's Mr. Steel Heel Girl. He's
the original.
Clayton Crane.
Oh, God.
If you don't know Sorry.
I know that's why I said, I said like I couldn't believe there wasn't a meme of Clayton's face pasted over the
Somebody did
Submariner #1 cover. But
look, so
yeah,
what do
I
you
mean,
think about her
I think everybody pretty much knew the Shuri thing was coming.
Now it's not been confirmed it's Shuri. They're still, they're saying.
Oh, it has, because there's been Lego toys out for months and it's Shuri in the Black Panther costume. So
gotcha.
But like I said, if they did, I don't like her hair. I don't like how they did her hair. You see right there? Go down one video right there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like how they did her hair right there. I thought her hair looked way better the way that was before. But I also heard someone saying that they think they changed her hair because she's got to go in the mask.
I was about to say the same thing, but at the same time, like if we can suspend belief that somebody can just walk around in a freaking Black Panther costume that just appears and shit like that, we can suspend belief about where her hair goes. You know what I mean? So we do it with Wolverine whenever he's in his Wolverine costume.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What about that? Hugh Jackman and freaking Deadpool? Yeah. Oh, and dude, TJ Miller's not going to be in it. The bartender from Deadpool 1 and 2.
But it's the taxi cab driver.
Oh, I don't know, but I was just like shocked. Apparently, TJ. What's up, Greg?
Damn the bartender. We better get Wolverine and Deadpool in the taxi. Hugh Jackman like
something stupid. And
who the hell is this? Oh, don't worry. He's my friend. He's my life partner, or whatever he called him.
Yeah.
What's up, DP? I love when he calls him DP.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I think that I think there's so much chemistry between those two guys. Like I'm not even looking forward to it from a comic book fan's standpoint. I'm looking forward to it just in general as a movie, because those two have such good chemistry together. And they have been, I mean, it has been poked and prodded at to lead up to this since Deadpool 1. And yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Oh man. And then Rob. The other thing is Spawn. So I think this will probably be the last topic, and then we'll wrap it up. But Spawn, if you guys didn't know, the Spawn movie has been a thing for quite some time. And again, I don't know what it is.
I will believe it when I see it. When I buy my ticket and sit in the theater and I see Spawn on the screen is when I will believe this is happening.
Well, they've already done one Spawn movie in the past.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying, and literally since the day after that movie was taken out of theaters and released on VHS, Todd McFarlane has been talking about doing another one, it seems like. Yeah. And I love Todd, but see, that's what I'm talking about right there. Look, he's on the phone. Yeah. Watch, you'll scroll up to him on the phone. And he's sitting there inking over Greg Capullo's art for the Batman Spawn crossover, just on the phone, hanging out at New York.
Hey, look, that's a new cover reveal, so that's cool. Capullo.
And I don't ever want to hear you talk about my shitty pictures that I create and post on my little shitty Photoshop app ever again, because Todd McFarlane just literally pulled out the most low budget announcement for his picture. He just wrote that on his phone and posted it.
Oh yeah, dude. But he's Todd McFarlane. He doesn't have to. Oh, I missed a panel. That would have been fun. This was cool. Did you see this?
I hate how old he looks. Yeah. Could you imagine how much that thing's worth, bro?
And that guy, that little bitty guy. I want to know who that guy is. He owns it. What
a dick.
He probably started.
If I had that for 5 minutes, I would not own it for 10 more minutes. I promise.
I would. If I had that, dude, I would run.
I would be house hunting, because I would sell that bitch in a second and change the direction that my life is on for sure.
And see, Todd's there more so for his toys than anything.
Oh yeah, I mean,
we've added some big.
He's been that way for years.
Yeah,
I mean, that's always been his big thing. And I'm not a huge fan of his DC toy line.
No.
And definitely not a fan of his Mortal Kombat line. But that I think a part of that is because of the alternatives that are available now. I mean, when you have Mortal Kombat Storm Collectibles figures, and then you sit that next to a McFarlane figure, you're like, there's no
price point. So I mean,
I was gonna say, but there's a price point difference for sure.
All right, so it's only a minute long, guys, but this is pretty cool news.
Buddy Todd McFarlane here. News just broke. The update. We've added some big A-list.
Whoa! Look at the Spawn ring. I just noticed that.
You never noticed that?
No, dude, that's super cool.
Names out of Hollywood to the Spawn team. Let's go through it. Here's the big news today. Scott Silver, the writer of The Joker, also a couple.
And you can tell that they just have like cue cards up next to the camera that he's like trying to read these names off of. You don't know.
My favorite films, 8 Mile and The Fighter. Scott Silver, The Joker, biggest R-rated movie of all time, on board. Malcolm Spellman, he did Falcon and the Winter Soldier for Disney Plus and is currently writing the Captain America movie. He's on board. And Matt Nixon, who's bringing his voice to this project, along with Jamie Foxx, Jason Blum already attached. It's just going to keep going. Next big news we drop, beginning of next year, hopefully we'll be able to come and bring you the news that it's in production, we've made the deal, and it's coming. Just wanted to share some of the super.
It's not happening yet.
He said,
give it a year, and hopefully the next big announcement will be it's a done deal.
He said early next year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still not buying it, Todd.
This team. Here we go. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Malcolm. Thanks, Matt, for jumping in and trusting my character with you.
No, Rob, skill. I caught that too. Did Todd McFarlane really just say 8 Mile was one of his favorite movies of all time?
That's why I'm like, he's just reading key cards.
On the cue card.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
So I was talking to Ryan and Corey about this. Would anybody else agree with me that I think it would be? Would it be a letdown if we just got a super badass animated film, kind of like we did with the series? The animated series was great.
No, there's no way they're bringing Jamie Foxx in if they're just going to use his voice.
Well, I mean, he's not even locked in yet, so we'll see. I remember Todd from the animated series in the opening saying, "Hi, I'm Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn." Now he's Pop McFarlane. I feel old. Yeah, I know. I hate how old he looks now. It drives me nuts. If you need to get on that, Todd, do something about that.
Todd is certainly one of those. Like, I can't think of many other comic book creators where I would be like, I would love to just go meet him. Look, and he's doing it in the back of his car.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like I've said 100 times, like the CGC in-house signings, like I'm not a fan. If I'm gonna get something signed, like there's not a whole. I'm not really a big signature guy anyway, but if I was going to spend the money to have something signed, I want to have it done in person. I want to be able to shake that hand, say thank you, whatever. But Todd McFarlane, I will not be going to New York Comic Con. It's just not going to happen. I do not have any desire to go. Don't want to be in New York. None of it. But, however, I would love to have something with his signature on it of my own. So I've been waiting because I knew he would have to come back at some point. They were going to bring him back. He started the in-house signing thing. I knew they'd bring him back. Huge cash cow.
Yeah.
And I've been saying forever that his freaking signature should be its own label. And now we're getting that.
Yeah.
So I'm sending my Flaming Carrot 27, the only time Todd McFarlane ever did the Ninja Turtles. I've already got it window bagged. I got it submitted. It's getting put in the mail. It's already packed up. I was going to send it off yesterday, but I decided instead of letting it sit in a FedEx truck all weekend, I'll just mail it off Monday. So, I'm going to participate in this one, but it's just because it's Todd, He doesn't get out much.
Damn, dude. I'm going to have to buy all of these.
Don't go crazy buying all those covers.
I'm going to have to. Yeah, but you can't tell me McFarlane's still not one of the hardest working people in comic books.
Oh, for sure. The dude just doesn't let up. But that doesn't mean That don't mean I believe what he's saying about the Spawn movie.
Look how young he looks here.
I know. I begged him on my book on the blue tape. I begged him to give me the full signature. I'm like, come on, man. I wrote on there, this is my first one. Please, I would love to get the full signature. Because here's the other thing. I've said before, like his signature is so iconic. And I was talking about this back whenever they did all the new custom labels. I was like, how does Todd McFarlane not have his own custom label? Not just a Spawn one, but his signature. I'm like, you would make a hell of a lot of money off of that.
I'm actually going to put Ellie's
How crazy is it going to look when you have the Todd McFarlane signature custom label and the T McFarlane signature?
Yeah.
So I hope the fact that I begged him on when I wrote on the book to give me that, I hope he will grant me that.
Yeah. I think this year I'm going to put Spawn #1, the blank one they just did. I'm going to put Ellie's footprints on that one this year.
Oh, right on. You should send it in to get signed by him and then do it. That'd be cool.
I don't think he'll sign it because he won't do art like that. They like, even if it's his own blank, somebody's done.
No, send it in to get signed and then crack it and then put her footprints on it.
Oh, yeah, there's that. But then it would still come back. Well, it'd still come back a green label regardless. So
yeah,
I don't know. Because I have to do it this month because I do it every October.
Okay. Well, I mean, then you don't have time because the books have to be in by the 11th of November. I don't know when the date of the actual signing is.
Okay, so whoever took this picture needs to be fired, and they need to give it a new photographer in here. You should not have motion blur in here in your photography like that. Like, there's a difference between a shallow depth of field, but like the motion blur, I don't know. Maybe they wanted to go for that, but it looks a bit out of focus. The focus is on the shoulder, not on his face, and the motion blur is terrible looking. Maybe that's what they were going for. Who knows?
That's true. That's true.
What up, Chaos?
You're right on that, Rob. He's got that much power right now. He's the guy. There's nobody in comics right now that is at Todd McFarlane level. In my opinion, I can't think of anyone.
There's nobody else I'd love to meet more. Not one.
I just like to stand there while you do it and be like, and then when we walk away, be like, dude, what happened? Like, I thought you had all these things you wanted to say and ask. Like, you didn't say shit.
He's probably one of those guys like Stan Lee where like you're ushered in and out within seconds. You're not going to get the time to say much. All right, but that's really it. Next week we'll talk about the other topic.
And Jim Lee, I don't know. I don't think Jim Lee's done as much as McFarlane though. I think he's still a notch under.
Great artwork.
Still a notch under.
But man, he should not be okaying some of the stuff coming out of DC.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave Daredevil alone too.
Yeah, Chris was not happy. We were going to talk about that on Twitter. He gave it a what did he say? He was like, just more of this bullshit or something like that, thinking Chris doesn't know we've turned our leaf back.
I will say that it made absolutely zero sense at all, none whatsoever, to have Daredevil walking down a street, number one, in his costume, back to his hotel room, but it made no sense for Daredevil to be walking down the street barefoot, carrying boots that he fights in, runs in, does all this shit in, but they're so uncomfortable he can't walk home in them first thing in the morning. I call bullshit on that. That was
it was simply just a dumb whoever decided to ride it, like their way of being like the walk of shame. That was dumb. Now, like I don't have a problem with them like sleeping together and sleeping around, whatever, because Daredevil is very much so known for that. So is She-Hulk. So like
I just thought that the whole thing of him walking down the street barefoot just for the sake of like making him look bad, I was just like, I like it. It doesn't even. It's not. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like it's not even. Oh, none of their jokes land.
Like it doesn't make sense that he would be walking down the street in those. Like you can't give me a reason why he would not be wearing his boots.
Yeah.
Or there's no reason that would make sense and make me go, oh yeah, you're right. I guess I didn't think about that. What, did he lose his socks? Even so, again, these are boots that he's obviously procured they have to be comfortable. Like, that's like, if you're a superhero and you're doing all that shit, like, you better have some boots on that are comfortable. So
Yeah.
I just thought that part was like, and literally I haven't watched any of it. So, I heard the fight scenes were pretty decent. But I also heard a lot of people say, like, this is not the Daredevil that we've seen on screen. So anybody that was excited about getting that, maybe cool your jets until we see what happens. But
yeah,
that one scene that you posted the picture of, I was like, what is this shit? I'm like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, there's nothing about this that you can tell me that I would say, okay, I get it. Like, I don't get it.
No. I don't think a lot of their jokes have landed, and that's been a lot of the negative feedback. Is a lot of the jokes have just not.
And he, like, he doesn't go out and like, he's not just like out and about in his costume during the day and stuff. I mean,
yeah, it's very well. I guess it depends, but like, the whole thing was just stupid.
You're telling me he wouldn't have brought a bag,
yeah,
like with a change of clothes, if he knew he was going to Smash. So
yeah, he could have stopped along the way. She probably had some clothes he could fit in. She is 6'9".
I've heard that argument as well. Like, but the other thing is like, how's he going to get back into his hotel where he was staying? He'd walk in. What room are you in? Oh,
yeah. Like, is he going to put his boots on to climb the walls to get it or whatever to get it back into his hotel room?
No, they're uncomfortable. His feet are sore from being up all night ravishing.
Hey, but good for them though. I was excited to see that they did let She-Hulk, be her true nature. She a little, yeah, and Daredevil smashes, man. I was talking to Logan about it. He was like, "Look, hey, he gets after it. Ain't no shame in his game." All right. Anything else? Any other topics? Any other conversations? And then I think it's time to wrap it up. It's a good solid 3 hours of pure, what's the word?
Unadulterated comic book
conversation. None of it was negative, right? Chaos. None of it was negative. It's all very positive. But go back for the full 3 hours to watch. And Tyler Shattered Glass, if you get to this moment, which most times you do, I'm very excited to hear how excited you love Dragon Ball. He's like all 100% in. He said it's one of the best things he's ever read in his entire
life. I saw somebody selling. I know you have all those comics. Do you have the Dragon Ball #1?
I don't think so, but I'm not like Dragon Ball.
I saw somebody selling a first print one. Apparently, it's pretty hefty.
Yeah,
but,
how much?
He started it at like $10, I think, or maybe it was a third print. I can't remember. I saw a first print Dragon Ball Z 9.8 on eBay. I was going to send it to you. I put it on my watch list, but it's a first print 9.8.
Yeah,
that's got to be tough to find. If it's like the Pokemon ones from Viz Comics, like, you can't find the first prints, and to hit a 9.8 and something like that is wild.
Yeah,
they were asking for like $1,000 on it, but I was just like, it might be one of those things. Like, I don't know if there's another one, but I know I'm excited as shit to see what your bone #1 hits, dude. If I swear to God, when I sent it to them and I put it under a microscope and everything, no reason, not a microscope, a magnifying glass, no reason that book should not hit a 9.8 from the 8.0 that it was.
Yeah.
But if it does, it's the only one out there. You'll have the only one. It'll be a green label, but keep your CBCS label, which I have, and that's your signature verification. But you also have the 9.8.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be some good shit. That would give me, like I said, my fourth 9.8.
Would they give it a 9.8 even with writing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. You can still hit that 9.8, but that'll give me 4 9.8s that I've hit the only one on the planet on. And I've got several 9.8s that there's probably less than 15 of them.
It's gonna come back the 9.2 crew.
Wow.
Are you gonna unbox those when those come back to you?
I figured I would either see if you wanted to like jump on here and record something together. Like, I wanted to record it with you because all those books that are coming back are going to be yours.
Cool.
I don't have anything in that submission. Remind me to ask you something about that submission when we get backstage.
Okay.
But yeah, I just sent off my Fantastic 449, my Savage Submariner 67, the first black suit Submariner, and the issue where he declares war on the surface. I love that cover, and I've been looking for that book, and it got expensive on me before I could find a really nice copy. And I finally found one in a back issue bin last year. Somebody forgot to change the price on. I got $20. This thing's probably an 8.5 or better. So I sent that in, the FF49. I sent in my Cobra Kai #1.
Nice.
And I sent in, I know I sent in something else. Oh, I sent in the Hulk 181 and the Bloodstone #1 I did for Mike. And my Todd McFarlane signing book. All that stuff just went in. So I'm looking forward to getting that stuff back. And I don't have anything else going to CGC anytime soon. I've still got a few Bronze and Silver Age books, some pretty good keys that I'm trying to sell. And then I'm probably going to be out of the selling game for a long time because it's just not been doing real well. But you know, just turn my focus back to putting stuff in my collection. And I've got probably 10 or 12 Fantastic Four books that will be leading the way on that for sure. So, and it's going to be tough because I want them in certain grades on some of them, the ones that aren't like super expensive. So it'll be hard, but I kind of like stuff like that gives me something to hunt for. Because once the hunt's over, then it's like, well, damn, now what do I do?
Read something new to find new love and joy, like Spider.
Yeah. When I get done with Fantastic Four, I'm going balls deep in the Silver Age Submariner run. That's the first thing I'm jumping on.
Shouldn't be a very long run, is it?
I think I don't know if it's quite 100 issues, but yeah, I don't remember. But I know, and there's some stuff in that run that I really that I've been wanting to pick up, and now I've started seeing like just certain books jumping in price because of speculation and stuff, and a lot of them were just books I wanted to get because of the cover. And now I'm like, well, damn, man, like I didn't get there quick enough, but it is what it is, I guess. I seem to always be behind the ball. I'll start to find something that I want to look for, and then it doesn't take long, and that's the next big spec book.
So 72 issues is what they have of Submariner on the app.
Okay, so yeah, that's not bad then.
Yeah,
I know it. So I guess when it goes to Savage Submariner, it doesn't last but for 4 or 5 issues. Then
I don't know. They do have Golden Age Submariner on here too.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to read any of the Golden Age stuff. Like, I don't know. I know I want to find that. I know I'd like to have a couple of different Golden Age Submariners that I'd love to have because of the cover art, but I don't know how much I would really want to get into reading Golden Age. I don't know. Of course, I didn't think I'd like Silver Age either until I started reading it, and now it's definitely my favorite thing. So who knows?
You never know.
I can't afford to enjoy Golden Age though.
Well, I think it's time to wrap it up, guys. We do appreciate you. It was fantastic having Justin back on, and as always, collect your way and whatnot.